Yes. Thank you. Holy crap. Hello everyone! Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry that I'm late. I'm sorry that I am late today. I suck. Yep, I suck. I was just having a hard time getting out of bed. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so it's great. Ooh, he's a good girl. Yeah, no, I just suck. So I apologize for that. Let me put my glasses on, because I'm blind without them. Don't know if you can hear her purring, but she is purring. Anyway, yeah, I apologize for being late, because I suck. That's what I do. Let me just clean my glasses, because they're actually oh, fuck, they're so dirty. I should have done this before the stream, but I was already, 25 minutes late. I didn't realize I was that late. Maybe I'm pregnant. I really should, I don't know, maybe change the stream time. Because every week I'm late. I never used to have this problem. But then again, I didn't used to stream right after waking. Did you see how dirty these are? I don't know if you can see, but fuck. Oh, wait. Did I change? Hold on. Oh, I was gonna change a thing. Did I do it? Did I change the thing? I was good. By the way, I can't see the chat yet, but I will read it in a moment. Oh, no, wait. Okay, there were two things I was gonna change. One of them was this. The chat needs to be refreshed, because in the last stream it wasn't showing up on the screen anywhere. So that's number one. Could have done this before the stream, but I totally forgot about it. Okay. That'll probably go now. That's fine. What was the other thing I was gonna do? You remember? Totally forgot what I was gonna do. What was I gonna do? Okay, let's open the stream on my phone. It's good too. Man, I'm all over the fucking place at the moment. Oh, what is happening? Hold on a sec. Let me go to. Cool, my hair's in my eye. It's good. Oh, I like that. It feels good. What was I doing? Stream. Yes, stream. Man, I'm not awake. Okay. I woke up at like I don't know. I only had like 6 hours of sleep. It's great. How does the stream have so many likes already? What is happening? Where's the stream? There it is. Look, Nato, I found it. Congratulations to me. Okay, you can be there. Let me welcome you. Hold on a second. Okay. Welcome to the stream, Inkerlink. Welcome to the stream, Gaganon. Oh. You must be in Europe land. Or somewhere after Europe land. Wait! Do I already know where you're from? Are you the one who's from Asia, somewhere in Asia? Or is it somebody else? One day, Nato, one day my glasses will be clean and we'll be able to, like, play the game. One day. Anyway, sorry, yeah, so my face is a thing now that I do, apparently. I wanted to kind of test it with the stream a little bit. This particular game, because it's obviously quite different to Shantae, so, Shanty, I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Ooh, good, they're getting slightly less disgusting. That is good. I'm pretty much just rubbing oil into my glasses right now, which is cool. Like, I'm rubbing hair serum into my glasses, because it's, like, possible to get it off your hands, so. That's great. That's why it's taking forever. Did you see Nato okay? I hope you can see Nato alright. She is here. Also, I hope the stream is okay, because Oh yeah, seems right. Because, I don't know, my internet's been a little wonky lately. Can these please clean so it's not just 10 minutes of me cleaning my glasses? Naru, can you magically clean these? Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to change the autofocus. Oh, I think it's okay. Let me know if the, if this goes out of focus, and I'll, like, you know, stupidly out of focus, and I will, do a thing. I'm pretty sure I changed the setting, but I might not have. Any day these want to clean, that would be nice to do. That's what's really frustrating about... No, there's something really nice about getting new glasses, is that they're like spotless. And they remain spotless for like 30 minutes, and it's amazing. And it's like, I can see, I have never been able to see, like I'm currently able to see. And it's glorious. But, sorry, am I too close to the microphone? I couldn't, it wasn't really cooperating with me either. Another reason I was late. Ah! How do my glasses please be clean? Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? 1 second. I'll be back. Sitting there. Ooh. That's not good, Naru. Let me know if you can't. Ow. Let me know if you can't see Naru very well. Because then she is the point. So, I will fix the things. Okay. Let's see if this helps. Does this help? Probably not, because there's probably all the serum and shit in the glasses cloth. Why does this have to be so hard? Oh, Switzerland! Ah, yes, the guy who speaks French. I remember now. Thank you. Is coming back to me. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. I might have like... I might have 2 streams. I might switch it up a little bit and have 2 streams a week. One that's America friendly and one that's Europe friendly. Well, America/Canada friendly. Maybe? Maybe. It's an idea, because I am kind of, you know, it's kind of unfair for all my Europe people. And I do have many Europe people, not to make you North Americans feel like shit or anything. Yeah, it's also just, because like at the moment it's 11:30 in the morning in New Zealand on Saturday, so it's, yeah, this is much better. So it's, also works for me too, but that's okay. Are you clean? Oh, it's a miracle. Nope, this one's not clean, just kidding. The other one is. One of them is. It's good, we're halfway there. Another half hour, the stream will begin. Oh! Be clean! Be clean. It's the... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. See, the issue is that I am blind when I don't have my glasses on, but I'm not so blind. Like, my blindness is different. I mean, yes, I do have, like, farsightedness problems, but, like, my main issue is that I see double if I'm not wearing my glasses. So I can see how dirty they are when they're close to my face, whereas I think a lot of people who wear glasses can't see how dirty they are because they don't have their glasses on to see that the glasses are... Yeah. So... it's a miracle, I can see. Also, I get a headache if I don't wear them. So there... Ah! So there is that too. Anyway, hello. Okay, look, the game. Let's play the game. Why can't I hear anything? Just kidding, I can. It's okay. Everything is okay. Alright. Let me close this. Is everything fine? Can you hear me okay? Is Naru framed well? Does she look She look good like that? Does her butt look good? Is everything good? Really good. Let me know if things are not good and I'll do everything in my power to make them perfect for you. Okay, let me go to this. Also, tell me if I'm eating the microphone, because I am quite close to it today. Alright, let's put this over here. I'm actually kind of streaming in the dark. I think I had the light on yesterday. So let me know if is it too dark? I wonder if it's too dark. Oh, let me know and I'll play with the filters. Because I played with the filters a little bit just to make it a little less like I'm Skyping. And a little bit more professional looking. But if it's too dark, let me know and I'll do things. Don't wipe your glasses on your shirt. It's bad for it. Stop that. Stop that. Being overly careful with new glasses. Yes. Yes, you're like holding them by the ends of the the arms of the frames. Like, yep. Nice, but don't feel forced. We will still watch even if it's not live anyway. Oh, that's... yeah, I guess that's true, but it still seems a little unfair. Yeah. Damn you, time zones. One day. I feel like we're heading towards a time where time zones won't be much of a thing. I mean, that'll exist, of course, because time exists. But, like, in terms of, like, when people are awake and when people are asleep, I feel like we'll... as a society of the world, will slowly become... especially as we travel more into space and stuff, time zones will be less of a thing and they'll kind of merge. And because like already it's kind of like that because there's so many people who work from home and like or you know just have like there's so many 24-hour services now compared to like 10 years ago. So I feel like that eventually it won't be a thing where it's like, oh, the Americans are awake now. It'll be like, oh, the people who are awake now are awake now. You know, like it'll be, I don't know, it's just what I think. It's what I just thought of this second, so who knows. Anyway, what were we doing? I think I need to go here. Not this. This is the wrong choice. It's the wrong, I did not mean. Load. Did I save? Because, I hope I saved. I guess it's this one. August 3rd. The 3rd of August. I want to stream Dog in the Fog. You're here to read. Excellent. Yes, read along with Nocturnal Owlie. I hope that I am also not taking up anything. I didn't test it yet to see if I'm taking up too much of the screen. If I am, I'll move myself somewhere. But at the top you had the text and I think like the characters are generally kind of in the middle of the screen, so hopefully this is okay for you guys. Oh look, it's like 11:40 and I'm finally starting the game. That sounds about right. I also apologize for the sun behind me, but that's what happens when you're this close to a black hole. Unfortunately. That, ironically, that behind me is not the door. The door is next to me, but it's out of the frame. I mean, it's behind me, but it's out of the frame. It's just the wall. And in real life, it is not bright like that. Frustrating, isn't it, Naru? Are you frustrated? Sorry, I promised you treats and I didn't give you any. Hold on. She's like, I've been waiting for 2 billion years. Where are the treats? Because time is different for black holes. 20 minutes for us is 2 billion years. I mean, million years. No, wait, did I say million or billion? Billion years. For a black hole. Anyway, sorry. She's very distracting. Please put your head on this butterfly comes off again. Sure, I'll do that for you. If it happens again. Absolutely. Alright. Forget what the wait. Let me just go back one second. What's happening here? What's happening? We were all talking about Schrodinger's cat, and that was kind of going against her, and it was a bit kind of like, what is happening? I was getting tired, so the TV thing. Right. So we don't know what's in the TV yet. Basically. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, look at what you're sitting right on the edge. What are you doing? Oh, okay, have a good sleep. Bonne nuit. Is that good night in French? Bonne nuit. Gagamon. Blah blah blah. An endless witch can perceive it and is most effective against such a witch. A finite witch. The multi-layered world's reduction technique. Sure. Schrodinger's cat boxes. Blah, 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 blah. Of last time, including the 5 servants and grandfather, there are 6 corpses. Let me check the scene. I've been trudging along, wasting time. From now on, I'll speed things up, okay? Oh, okay. Take a seat, Beatrice. It's finally the first twilight, isn't it? Let's start the real thing. Show me what you've got. 1 second. Sorry. That's what you're here to see. Forget what the adults expected. At least for us kids. These were supposed to be a fun couple of days, where the cousins deepened their friendship. Yes. However, when we woke up, there was an unbelievably cruel reality waiting for us. Hick, hick. 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 George, Aniki, and Jess. Oh, that Oh, right. Wait, hold on. Let me have a look at... Hold on, just to refresh. What are you doing? You can't go that way. You have to go the other way. Here you go. You're not just gonna sit there and look out the window while I hold the curtain, are you? You wanna go into the... Let me close it a little bit. There you go. You wanna go in there? Don't scratch the curtain, it's bad. Here, go. If you want to go to the window, go to the window. Thank you very much. Okay, good job. You made it. I want to see who was dead, so... Jessica is fine. Oh yeah, didn't all the servants die? No. Wait, doesn't it usually say when people die? In here? Why is it not telling me who's dead? That's weird, isn't it? Okay. Well, anyway, so Shannon and Canon, and didn't he die as well? Kenzo? Trying to remember what happened. Did he? And he died, I think. All like all the servants died except. Did Gora die yet? I feel like Bumchin died as well. Maybe. That is exactly what I had planned to do. Human. One stream. Super paper. Oh, they haven't discovered them yet. Is that why? Ah, I see. Okay. No, but they're crying over Shannon and Canon. So, doesn't that mean they would have found them? This is what happens when I don't play for a week. George, Aniki, and Jessica. Okay, so they're more like, like that. Okay, George, Aniki, and Jessica were crying over Shannon Chan and Kanonkun's deaths. I think you have to hit next on the character tree screen, I think. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? Oh! Oh no, that's that. That was horrifying. I didn't need to experience that. Thank you, though. Right, right now, I was alive too. But right now, everyone who's alive, hey, what is this? What is this room? We haven't seen this room before, have we? Oh, fancy. I thought that said, oh, never mind. Oh. Hello. Yes. Anyway, right now, everyone who was alive had gathered in the lobby. Well, obviously, everyone who was alive had gathered in the lobby on the first floor of the guest house. And there were 12 people there. Unbelievable, right? There were 18 until yesterday. And in one night, a third of that number had lost their lives. So I guess this arc is going to take more place more in the guest house, maybe? Because we haven't seen this before. Usually it's in the other loungy dining room thingamajig. Wait, this is a lobby? There's a bar. Oh, it's so fancy. How many... Look at all the chairs. How many people need... Okay, whatever. I eventually sobered up from my agitation, and along with my lack of sleep from being woken up so early in the morning, I was beginning to feel a faint sense of unreality. I want to think this is some kind of bad dream. My cheap escapism keeps telling me that over and... keeps telling me that over and over. Maria had gone back to sleep on the sofa Rosa was sitting in. Rather than her having nerves of steel, she probably genuinely hadn't had enough sleep. This is different too. Ooh, fancy. Oh, it's so... I really like in Japanese houses, like westernized Japanese houses, they have... Well, I mean, I'm sure they don't all have this, but at least the one that I have been in, and what you see in anime as well, it's like they have these really beautiful, like, dark wooden floorboards with like these dark wooden doors, and oh, it's so beautiful. I thought for a second he was holding a violin. Oh. Are you gonna play us a song, Rudolph? Are you? That is quite the gun there. You don't... Wait, do you usually see them holding... Oh, no, yeah, because we've seen Aunt Rosa hold a weapon before, I think. The adults were holding items from what was apparently grandfather's collection. Short-barrel Winchester rifles. Oh, short-barreled Winchester rifles. I thought there was going to be a list, but apparently not. Apparently relics from a time he'd been obsessed with westerns. He'd been watching Hell on Wheels, I guess. There were 4 guns altogether. Those had been split up among those had been split up among the 4 siblings: Uncle Kraus, Aunt Eva, my dad, and Aunt Rosa. Paper boxes filled with bullets lay on the table, and the siblings were silently loading them. Oh, he looks so happy. It's a little scary. Even now, touching one of these, I get the feeling Dad will yell, "Don't touch that!" and hit me. Well, isn't that great? No matter how much you touch them, you won't be hit again. No matter how much you touch them, you won't be hit again. I can't believe it. To think that Father would meet this kind of end. Well, I never did expect Kinzo to die normally in his bed, but even so, it is too horrible. Ah. I remember her voice. Lado, what is her voice? Oh, she's behind the curtain. Oh well. Hey! I wonder if that really was Father. I think it might be a different person's corpse used as a substitute to trick us. No, it was Father, without a doubt. You saw his toes, right? His toes. Generally speaking, there aren't many humans with six toes on both feet. That's disturbing. But that doesn't mean that such people don't exist. I've heard that polydactyly isn't that rare a disease. It isn't? Okay. He was a man who liked large-scale tricks, right? He might have obtained a corpse from somewhere that had the same number of toes on both feet. Ridiculous! Why would he do something like that? I'd agree if it was a normal person, but this is father we're talking about. You can't be sure Kiryu-san's talking nonsense. Kinzo was a dinosaur, yes. After all, burning a corpse makes it hard to identify. Still, there should be a few ways to examine him from his teeth and bone structure. If the police investigated, of course they'd be able to know whose body it was right away. The problem is that we need a telephone engineer more than the police right now. The boats probably won't come in this typhoon, so will they arrive tomorrow? What's that noise? Most likely the boat will come again at 9 tomorrow. Then I believe we'll be able to contact the police. Don't know who's talking. It's the same for us. And the culprit. Until the typhoon passes, this island will be closed off. I don't know who's talking. Just from our parents' conversation, you could probably figure out the general gist. But let's explain the situation anyway. Okay, Battler. First, yes, please refresh my memory. That's great, thank you. First, early that morning. Oh, there you go. There's the... Now it'll be updated. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, right. So does all the servants. That's right, because she was thingamajig. She's the other thingy-majiggy, you know. The witchy person, the other witch person. Yeah, okay, alright, here we go. Alright. I hear a dog. In various places throughout the mansion, a total of 6 corpses, including grandfather and all the servants, had been found, one after another. First, grandfather had been this actually, it was a perfect place for me to end the stream last week, because now it's like, and now let me recap everything for you, Noct. Thank you, I appreciate this. Why are there golf clubs? Oh my god, there are golf clubs? I didn't even see them. First, grandfather had been in the boiler room, completely burnt. That happened in the first arc as well. Didn't it? No. Yes. No. Wait. Yes. Maybe? I feel like that happened in the first arc. The servants had died, each shut up in the rooms throughout the mansion that had magic circles drawn on them. Why is my nose being annoying? Can it not, please? I don't know what's happening. I think the past couple of weeks it must be something to do with the air. Throughout the mansion it had magic circles drawn on them. The cause of death for the servants was uncertain, but according to Dr. Nandra's diagnosis, there was a high likelihood that they had been stabbed by something like a spear, or possibly shot with a gun. That was why the adults had started arming themselves with Winchesters. And what made the situation even more chaotic was the fact that the telephones had become unusable. It was unknown if lightning had caused them to break down, or if the culprit had broken them. At any rate, since contact with the outside had been cut off, we couldn't reach the police. Is the audio too loud of the game? Is it okay? Is it overpowering? Maybe I'll turn down just a little bit. Because I had to change it for Shantae, so I don't know if it's like wrong now. Oh, it's fine? Oh. Okay, hold on a sec. Let me turn it back up here. Okay, thank you. So until the, I like how I'm like asking a question and I just answer it myself. It's great. So until the typhoon passes and a boat comes tomorrow morning, we'll have to protect ourselves. After all, Rokkenjima is now isolated by the typhoon. And just as we're stuck on this island, so is the culprit. It seemed that the adults had stayed up all night, holding the family conference in the mansion's dining hall the whole time. And yet, the crime had occurred in the mansion. So, right when the adults had been in an uproar over money, why do my voice get so croaky all of a sudden? So, right when the adults had been in an uproar over money, the murderer had been killing under the same roof. Yes, as with every single arc. They say Aunt Natsuhi's been strict about locking the doors and windows at night. At night. And yet, some suspicious person had entered and left the mansion. The adults had decided that the inside of the mansion was too large to be safe. So they had pulled out the guns and moved to the guest house where we had been. That's interesting. They haven't done that in a previous arc before. They've just closed themselves in a room, usually. Interesting. Okay. Different approach. Which brings us to the present. So I keep So the camera, right, is sitting on top of two boxes because I don't have a tripod. So it's sitting on top of two boxes. But unfortunately, whenever I touch to the desk, it makes the boxes shake, which makes the camera shake. It's good. It's great. It's like you're really here. Doesn't it help the atmosphere? I'm sure it does. Which brings us to the present. George Aniki had begged to see Shannon-chan's corpse because he was a moron. But the adults had refused because they're not morons, saying that he mustn't do so until the police arrived. That wasn't just because they wanted to seal all the rooms to preserve the scene. After all, the culprit who had killed 6 people was wandering about the mansion. To the Ushirimiya family right now, the mansion that should have been their home was now a danger zone that an unknown murderer could enter and leave at will. After all, it's a huge mansion. There are plenty of blind spots and dark places, and it's too vast to guarantee absolute safety with this number of people. Oh my god, it's just above. Look at that framing. Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. Good job, me. I'm the best. Just kidding. No, I am. Relatively speaking, the guest house was much smaller. It had 2 above-ground stories. Something like 10 or so rooms. Apparently, it had originally been constructed to serve as a small hotel, as part of the plan to turn this island into a resort. So many noises at lunchtime on a Saturday. Do I have somebody mowing their lawn? No, I think it's a car. On to the stream, Adam Daniels. I don't know if the first one sent or not. I did not see, unless I just missed your message. Apparently it had originally been constructed to serve as a small hotel, as part of the plan to turn this island into a resort. Right. But now it's a fire station, judging by these doors here. So it was easier to know what was going on everywhere inside it, and it'd be easier to keep safe. It made for a good place to hole up in. Yes, we get that. Also, it was extremely likely that this mass murder of 6 people was a game. After all, the culprit had proclaimed so in a letter. I heard that a Western-style envelope with the family crest, just like the one Maria claimed to have received from Beatrice yesterday, had been found in the boiler room where grandfather's corpse had been discovered. This was what the letter said. So that there would be no misunderstandings, the game I seek is for everyone to try and solve the riddle of the epitaph, not for you to try and catch me. If you don't solve the riddle, the pitiful sacrifices will further increase in number. It would be wiser to spend your time solving the epitaph instead of searching for me. If no one can solve the riddle, no one will survive. If a person appears who can miraculously solve it, I will give them all the gold of the Golden Land, the Ushirimiya family headship, and all of my power. I am the one who succeeded the Ushirimiya family headship after Kinzo-sama. I look forward to seeing who will succeed to that headship after me. Where's Shadow going? The Golden Witch, Beatrice. This riddle of the epitaph was that thing. I thought it said a thing. Was a thing. Was that thing. That strange epitaph written by the portrait of the witch on display in the hall of the mansion. Grandfather was the one who had it written, and the person who solved it would, supposedly, be given the inheritance or the hidden gold, or something like that. Ever since it was first put on display there several years ago, the relatives have secretly tried to solve that riddle, despite saying on the surface that the whole idea was silly. However, up until today, no one had solved it. We were once again being urged to solve that unintelligible riddle, and this time we were faced with the threat that we'd all be killed if we didn't solve it. If that wasn't a game, what else could it be? A sick joke is what it is. A sick joke. The bold opinion that we should search for the premises for the culprit did come up once. However, there was a good chance they were armed, and there might not be just one of them. And while they might have been able to kill more than 6 people, they had stopped at 6. The opinion that won out in the end was that we should avoid needlessly antagonizing the culprit. Oh, I thought you were going to say each other, because that would make more sense. Well, both would make sense, I guess. And hole up in a safe place while we waited for the police to arrive. I actually didn't see it either. It's just sometimes my device trolls me, making me think the Nada just jumped onto the floor from nowhere. Like it was like her thud on the ground was loud enough to sound like she jumped off this, but she's not over here. She's over there. It was like, it's like the desk is too low, plus there's no space over there for her to jump on. It wouldn't be the couch because that's even lower. Did you jump out of the air? Maybe she has a black hole. After the adults... Actually, she didn't jump anywhere. The whole universe just went up to her. Makes sense. After the adults carefully checked the doors and windows in the guest house, Noct had to blow her nose again. Not that I'm blowing my nose. Jeez, can it stop? No, don't make it stop. I have a rubbish bin down there, by the way. I'm not just like throwing it on the floor. After the adults carefully checked that the doors and windows in the guest house were locked, they set up camp in the lobby. Finally, here we go. As they loaded their guns to distract themselves from attention, their expressions showed that they were already fatigued from this long day, which had still barely begun. There was nothing for me to do. Now all I could do was be taught how to use a gun, to prepare for the off chance of something happening that led to an excess of guns. Is this like a hint of things to come? Nice obvious foreshadowing there. Very nice. That's fine. Just obediently stay there, me and the rest of you. What? Are you talking to me? Okay. 6 people in the beginning again, and this time it's grandfather and all of the servants put together. Most likely. That child has carefully studied your moves from the last game. I don't remember her voice, but it's this now. And has made an optimal move by taking the pieces you were most likely to suspect from the start. That makes sense. That was true both last time and the time before that. The servants who know everything about the mansion and who walk around with keys always fall into the most suspicious category of people. A good example of the last game would be Jessica's closed room. If I'd only accepted that a servant was the culprit, that wouldn't even have been a closed room. And so that child went straight for them. It's her talking, isn't it? And so that child went straight for them, probably to block off a method of escape you'd be likely to attempt sooner or later. Beato already proclaimed and read that there are no more than 18 people on this island. In other words, it's time to give up on that. Did she? But doesn't that mean she's not there? Or does people not include witches? Now I got to suspect one of the 18. Okay. That child will probably come at you by stealing the pieces for all the 18, while also making an appearance as a 19th person who shouldn't exist. For then you would be forced to accept that your opponent is a witch. Ah, there we go. Okay. After all, now that the intimidation approach has failed, trying to force you to surrender by showing you magic, the only remaining option is a frontal attack. My leg went numb. It's great. Perfect. Bluffing won't work anymore. Be careful. Deception is what witches are best at. No matter what your opponent says or shows you, it will not be able to threaten the truth that you believe in. Don't forget that. Sure. As if I'd fall for the same moves over and over. Come on out, Beatrice. Let's get started. It was stated in red after Rosa told the story of Beatrice falling off a cliff. Ah, okay. Okay. Ah, now there's pins and needles on my leg? This is a very unpleasant feeling. I don't appreciate this feeling. I have to not move at all until it subsides. I think pins and needles is a New Zealand phrase. It's like when you sit on your leg and it goes numb, and then when the blood rushes back in it gets all tingly. We call that having pins and needles, because it feels like you're being attacked by 1,000 pins and needles. It's great. It's a good feeling. I used to love this feeling when I was a child because I was a sadist. No, a masochist, not a sadist. Now I'm a sadist. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. And I liked to get sick when I was young too. Probably because I got the day off school and was fussed over. I don't know. I was a fucked up little kid. Anyway. I'm already seated at the table of the contest, and my turn is already complete. To think we would end up having Madame as our foe. This will not be easy, milady. Oh, you say pins and needles too? Oh, then I guess my other Canadian friend is just didn't know what they were. Never mind. Our moves would be read thoroughly. Ah, did you? Okay. Well, never mind then. Took it back. I cannot. By now, teacher's moves are all old-fashioned. Wait, who? Oh yeah, teacher's moves are all old-fashioned classics. There's nothing to fear. I don't remember her voice, but anyway. So, just what moves can you make beyond the classics I taught you? I look forward to seeing Beatrice. Oh, her face. Oh, you're okay with this, battler? Can someone who denies witches really accept a witch as a strategist? Your stupid provocation is pointless. This is my advisor. No, my second. Your second? What? That doesn't change one bit that this is a fistfight between you and me. I understand. One as wobbly as yourself probably needs training wheels on his bicycle. Do as you like. Come, let us begin. It's your turn. I don't know who's talking. Let's begin with the reconstruction of the crime scene. Look at his face. Oh, so determined. Oh, so beautiful. Virgilia, quickly, please. The first corpse discovered was Shannon's. She was found in the parlor on the first floor of the mansion. The door and windows were locked, and a closed room was established. Beato, I need some details. Let's reconfirm the definition of a closed room. Indeed. The term closed room refers to a room where the inside and the outside are completely cut off from each other. Naturally, it will be impossible to even affect things across that boundary line, much less enter or escape from it. This includes an all-inclusive denial of the existence of hidden doors, as well as all possibility of intervention from the outside. Henceforth, this shall be referred to as Beatrice's closed room definition. Let's focus in a bit. Just like CSI. How do you define all possibility of intervention from the outside? I refer to all types of direct intervention from the outside, such as using a fishing line or a long thin rod. In conclusion, there are no gaps in the doors and windows through which such tricks will work. I wonder about that. Even if there wasn't a gap, you should be able to interfere with radio waves, like with the remote control, right? Very well. I'll add to this definition that interference due to radio waves and related methods of remote control shall be possible. Shall be possible. Wait, possible? Oh no, shall be impossible. Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't make sense. There's also an extension telephone in the parlor. A device connected to that wouldn't count as a remote control, right? The phones are already unusable, are they not? Whatever. I'll include that too. All direct and indirect methods of interfering with the inside of the closed room from the outside of the room are impossible. What about a voice or knock? Those should be able to interfere from the outside without someone entering the room, right? Even though it's a closed room, it probably isn't impossible for someone to knock or call out. The closed room definition does not cover whether transmission of intent across the boundary is possible or not. In other words, you can't make it so your definition includes the blockage of all methods of communication with the outside. That is indeed the case. Understood. I don't know why you're talking, but sure. So, Shannon-chan's parlor satisfies Beatrice's closed room definition, right? Correct. Closed room definition? Understood. Continue, Vigilian. I hope that's your name. It is now. Matter? Yes. Shannon's corpse was in possession of one master key. The relatives who discovered her collected this. Ieto, repeat it. How many master keys this time? The same as last time. There are 5, one for each servant. Use your leg as a sleep. But then isn't that when it's numb? Because I use that as well. It's like, my leg fell asleep. But it's like when it's numb, not when it's all tingly. I don't know, it might be Naru. Oh no, she might be behind the curtain. I don't know who's talking. Who was talking last time? Okay. Which means this still isn't a closed room. There are still 4 master keys left. It just means that after Shannon-chan was murdered, one of the other 4 keys locked it. Correct. And it wasn't only a master key that was found. Yes. Yes. Alongside the corpse, there was a Western envelope. I wasn't picking my notes, by the way. I was scratching it. Alongside the corpse, there was a Western envelope with the family crest. Instead of a letter, the key to a guest room on the 2nd floor was inside it. The key to a 2nd floor guest room? The only key other than the master key that can open the door to that 2nd floor guest room. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I thought there was going to be... Okay. The key to a 2nd floor guest room. The only key other than the master key that can open the door to that 2nd floor guest room. Is that... It's a weird sentence. Is that definition correct? I don't know, you read it such a strange way. I thought it was an introductory clause. But it wasn't. What's wrong with my nose? Stop it. Like, it doesn't need blowing. It's not like... To that extent. It's just like... Annoying. Indeed. I mean, indeed. There is no problem. It's just because I'm, like, still waking up. At 11. Yes, at 12. It's good. Yeah, that's why, really. There was no problem, and unlike the master keys, only one of those exists. In other words, apart from the 5 master keys, there will be only one key that can unlock certain rooms. In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the 2nd floor guest room next. So the adults move to the 2nd floor guest room, right? Yes. The door to the 2nd floor guest room was locked, and a magic circle was drawn on it. The relatives unlocked it with the key they had found near Shannon's corpse. Inside, Kumasawa's corpse was discovered. I actually did say that. I was trying to say Kumasawa-san, because usually it's Kumasawa-san. It was a closed room. One that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Kumasawa was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And, like in Shannon's case, there was a Western envelope discovered alongside her. Inside was the key to the 3rd floor waiting room. The relatives moved to the 3rd floor waiting room. So there was a magic circle on the door to the 3rd floor waiting room. So there was a magic Why is it so hard? So there was a magic circle on the door to the 3rd floor waiting room, and that door was locked? Yes. Inside the room, Gorda's corpse was discovered, and it smelled like cheese. The room was a closed room. One that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Gorda was in possession of one master key. Don't know who's talking. I hope it's still her. Their relatives collected this. And, like up until now, a Western envelope with the family seal was discovered, inside of which was the key to the second floor VIP room. The relatives moved to the second floor VIP. Oh, the relatives moved to the second floor VIP room. So this is a weird. What's going on here? What are you planning? There's no need to glare, is there? It may be a closed room, but there are still multiple master keys that can open it, correct? And besides the master key, oh, I thought she was going to go, and besides, blah blah blah, but she didn't. And besides the master keys, I've even given you keys specific to each room. I don't like where this is going, but I'm starting to see how it'll turn out. So it continues like this for all 6 people. Yes, that is correct. Inside the second floor VIP room, Genji's corpse was discovered. One master key was collected. The key to the this is interesting. I feel like this is one of the themes sped up, because she said that it speed it up. I don't know if it is, but it sounds like it is. Because it's not usually like this, is it? The key to the underground boiler room was discovered. Oops. They moved to the underground boiler room. Inside the underground boiler room, Kenzo's corpse was discovered. The key to the chapel was discovered. They moved to the chapel. Inside the chapel, Kanon's corpse was discovered. One master key was collected. This is like an RPG. Like you go to a place, you collect a thing. You go to a place and you collect a thing. Or a platformer or something. One master key was... No, it's like Zelda. That's what it's like. One master key was collected. The key to the first floor parlor was discovered. With this, our reconstruction of how all 6 corpses were discovered is complete. I did make a Gordon Cheese joke. I don't know what you're talking about. An addendum, is that how you say that? Along with the key to the chapel, a letter was enclosed in the western envelope found near Kenzo's corpse. The contents of the letter were as you saw. It further urged the relatives to solve the riddle of the epitaph. In that case, what's going on? If the last place where Kanon was had the key to the very first room, the parlor where Shannon was, that makes 6 closed rooms all tied together, right? That is correct. The 6 closed rooms are all tied together. I sure hope this is Beatrice talking, or I'm doing the wrong voice. The keys to unlock each one are all shut up inside the next room. In other words, the 6 closed... I don't know who's talking. In other words, the 6 closed rooms from one massive closed room, and all of the master keys as well as the individual room keys are shut up inside it. Furthermore, all of the doors and windows on the 6 rooms are normal. No device exists which can lock them without a key, such as an auto lock. What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it? Wait. Yes. Once again, my lady, that is not dignified. When Ronove rebuked her, Beatrice stuck her tongue at him without showing any signs of shame. Like that. Sorry. Playing with Battler just put me into such a good mood. So, Battler, what do you think of my move? If you can't think of anything in particular, I wouldn't mind showing you how I made the goats carry the corpses and seal all of the rooms with magic, okay? Do what you want. Do what you want. I'll listen respectfully to this magic theory that you claim is true. However, I can claim my human theory, even though it's completely different from yours, without any interference from your claim. In other words, there's no need for me to pay attention to your bullshit. Go ahead and show me how you can lock the door with your multicolored magic simply by waving your magic staff. Just like those guys with their toad oil and all-purpose kitchen knives. Toad oil! As seen on TV. Virgilia, let's reconstruct the crime scene. Search for a weakness. Were they all definitely dead? If one of them is just playing dead, this isn't a closed room at all. Nanjo confirmed that all of them were dead. However, due to the devil's proof, it's impossible to deny the possibility of a wrong diagnosis. What is his face? In other words, that child cannot make the likelihood that Nanja overlooked them being alive equal to 0. Here it is, that devil's proof. But there exists a sword that can carve that up. What's up with them? Looks like they're having a good time leaving me out of the discussion. I'm his opponent, am I not? Doesn't he have any time to spare for me? Fundamentally speaking, communication with one's opponent is not necessary to the act of competing in chess. True. Every time you've communicated with him outside of making your moves, you've used that opportunity to confuse him. Perhaps this is the result of him not wanting to be led astray. Like Joshua astray. For some reason, I don't like it. You are challenging him to a chess match, are you not? That's true, but... Gah! Beatrice puffed out her cheeks, as though to say, I don't know why, but I don't like it. Like that? Sure. Because the police have not yet arrived at the crime scene, the human side's ability to inspect the scene is limited. For a strict confirmation of death, I recommend that you have that child repeated in red. Okay, that's where I'll strike. Repeat it. Oh. Okay. Scared? What are you... Ah, it's scared. Look at me. Haha. It's like one of those paintings, or like the what is it? Yeah, where like you move and they're still looking at you. Oh, it's creepy. I feel like this game should be in 3D or something. The 6 victims, I mean, you know, like 3D glasses, kind of 3D, not polygons, kind of 3D. The 6 victims are all dead. Milady, he has told you to repeat something in red, has he not? Hey, enough lazing around. Do you refuse to repeat it? This is where our battle starts. Oh, why did her eyes make a noise when she opened them? What? Oh! Did he flick her? Sorry. That's fine, I'll answer. These 6 are all dead. Kinzo, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Gora, and Kumasawa. Why are you so out of it? Okay. So I've already got 1 out of you. We'll start by denying that classic trick with the victims are playing dead. I won't go easy on you anymore. Come at me. Come at me how you like. I've probably said this before. I like her face drawn like this particular expression. She looks like a snake. I like it. But like, a kind of cute snake. Well, snakes are cute. I mean, look at their little faces, all those, like, yeah. I'll slice them slantwise, one after another. And then repeat this. No one is hiding in any of the 6 rooms. Let's see you deny the existence of people we aren't aware of. I'll answer. There is no one hiding in the 6 rooms. Okay. Now I'm sure it's only the 6 of them in the can. In the can? In the can? Isn't that toilet? That would be on the can. And they aren't pretending to be dead. What will you do? What will you do? As if human could manage anything by now. Obediently kneel to the fact that I can control locks at will with my wonderful magic, okay? Quit babbling. Repeat this too. Look at her face. Just imagine he's still talking and she's like... The 6 deaths... The 6 deaths were instant deaths. And his face looks really good here. He also looks like a snake here. Another cute little snake. Little face. The music is getting very intense, yes. They aren't dead. They just had one too many Bahama Mamas. Sure. I don't know what that is. Instant deaths? Oh, what do you mean by that? It means there's a possibility that a single victim on the verge of death managed to escape into the room, and after locking it from the inside to create a closed room, they passed away. A classic closed room murder trick, one requiring that the victim receive a fatal wound and then die later. Is it possible for a closed room to be constructed unexpectedly if the victim holes up inside the room to escape the murderer and then dies after locking the door? In order to deny that possibility, you will need to proclaim that the 6 died instantly with the red truth. Very well, very well. I'll slay you with my red treasure sword. The 6 died instantly. By died instantly, I mean the targets instantly became incapable of action after being attacked. Well, it might still have taken them several seconds or minutes to die in the complete sense of the word, but regardless, it was completely impossible for them to take any actions of their own will. In that sense, I can confirm that they suffered instant deaths. Up until this point, I've just been checking for the classic tricks. Now's when our showdown over the closed room really starts, okay? I need to blow my nose. Hold on a second. Let me just mute you for a sec so you don't have to listen to that. Okay. Better. Anyway. Okay. If the culprit isn't on the inside, they're on the outside. So they somehow killed from outside the rooms. Have you lost your mind? After all, a closed room equals murder. It's impossible from the outside, right? That's why only a magical murder would be possible. No, that's wrong. The 8 approach. The 8 approach. The right approach is a hold on a sec. Resistance hub. Oh my god. Okay. Oh. It's hard to adjust your legs when you have straws for legs. I don't know, bendy were they bendy straws or are they pipe cleaners? Either way. It makes no sense to anybody except Inkling. The right approach is a murder really happened. It equals it isn't a closed room. No matter how much you try to trick me, this definitely isn't a closed room. It's a sham that only looks like oh my god, it scared the shit out of me. My coaster came with my drink and oh my fucking god. I don't even know what I thought just happened. I thought like the bottom of my cup like exploded or something. Unnecessary. Thank you though. It's a sham. It's weird. Felt like there was a hair in my mouth, but I can't find one. Anyway, one of the many joys of having a cat. It's a sham that only looks like one. Naru, are you here? Naru? I don't know if the cat is moving. Naru? I don't know where she is. Oh, there she is. Were you asleep on the bed? What are you doing? Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was like shaking this next to the. Sorry about it. My bad. Come here. Come sit here. Come let the people look at you. Good girl. Ooh. Okay, that's good. Anyway. Yes. No matter how much you try to trick me, this definitely isn't a closed room. It's a sham that only looks like one. However, Bakla-sama, only the victims are inside the rooms, and no other people exist inside the rooms. And by Milady's closed room definition, remote murders from outside the room have been clearly defined, have they not? Oh, it's a good girl. Yeah, it's a good girl. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, where are you going? Oh. I didn't put them anywhere else, sorry. Wait, the definition of remote murders is pretty broad, right? That's not just about pulling a fishing line from outside the room and strangling the victim inside the room. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I thought it was here. On this part of the... Oh! Let's see if I can do this. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, you can see her. It's not just about pulling a fishing line from outside the room and strangling the victim inside the room. For example, a trap would make for an excellent remote murder. Remote murder. A trap? Oops. Oh, and what might that be? Huh? Just as an example, let's say they were instructed to enter rooms that someone had picked out beforehand and lock the doors from the inside to create the closed rooms themselves. A trap was set up in those rooms that they didn't know about. And that's what killed them. How's that? It doesn't contradict anything. There are no problems. It corresponds to the existing state. There are no problems on our side either. It does not conflict with Milady's closed room definition. What's with that stupid reasoning? Nothing suspicious was found in any of the rooms, right? Nothing suspicious was found in any of the rooms, right? What form did that trap have? Where was it hidden and how did it operate? Explain that for all 6 of them. In the parlor, the guest room, the waiting room, the VIP room, the boiler room, and the chapel. Well, you can't, can you? I refuse to counter that. There's no need for me to explain. And failing to do so doesn't damage my claim. What did you say? Is this what... Wait, so the people who made that game, what is it called? The one with the guy that says objection all the time? Is that made... I've asked this before. Is that made by the same people who made this game? And is it similar to this game in the way that it's just visual like this? Where you just read the whole thing? And does it have like similar humor and mystery and stuff? I've never played those games before, but I've kind of always wanted to. Oh, it's not made by the same people? Oh, okay. So is it more of a, like, are they... Is it a coincidence that it looks the same? Or is it, like, are they referencing that game? Or poking, or like, yeah, poking fun at the game? Or is it just, yeah, is it just coincidence? Yes, that is what I'm thinking of. Oh, it's a reference. Ah, okay, okay. But regardless, is that game similar? Or like, do you have to like choose, like, do you actually have to choose things? Or like, is it like this where you just read? Anyway, Beatrice, it's a devil's proof. The fact that he cannot explain the nature of the trap does not in itself deny the existence of such a trap. Well done. While overbearing, a wonderful move. This guy's getting completely used to this. Check. Due to a murder trap X that we couldn't find, it'd be possible to establish this closed room murder. I'll kill that chick with the red truth. The 6 were not killed by traps. Why did her voice get low like this? I have no idea. I thought I hit the door, but it was just not a... Okay. And the definition of a trap? That's it. Something that activates when a victim triggers it on their own. Oh, and that's not all. It also includes things activated by remote control or by a timer. Everything of that sort. So it refers to all arrangements that could carry out a murder without the direct participation of the one who planned it out. Perhaps we might sum it up that way. How's that? I'd struck back. As if I'd let a human crush this closed room. Look at his little face. You're looking pretty frantic to win, too. What? What do you mean? You do choose things in that game? Okay. You're frantically fighting to make me accept your... Oh, wait, this isn't talking. You're frantically fighting to make me accept your existence. Until now, I thought I was just being toyed with by you one-sidedly. But that's not actually true. You're also frantically resisting my counters, fighting to show that you exist. Now, I finally really feel that it's true. This isn't torture inflicted on me, over whether I'll surrender or not. This is a fight between you and me. This is a fight between you and me on an even footing. Okay, now it's starting to get interesting, isn't it? All 6 died in closed rooms, and no outsiders were inside. And there was no meddling from the outside, and also no traps. Up until now, I'd probably start suspecting that this had to be the work of magic. And if you decided to show off some bizarre magic at this moment, I might even have surrendered. It's that favorite strategy of yours. You intercept all of my moves, and in the moment I've exhausted all options, fall to my knees. When my heart's berries are at their weakest, you show off some strange magic and take the game all at once. That short temper is something this child... That short temper is something this child has always had, along with the bad habit of rushing things when victory is in sight. After all, milady cannot stand putting off a match. Hey, shut up, shut up! It's Bettler's turn, right? I finished off that trap piece you advanced. What should I repeat next? Show me what you've got. Right. Now that even traps have been defeated, this looks like a perfect closed room murder at a glance. And that's why I'll spin the chessboard around right now. Here it comes, that special technique of yours. How exactly are you going to spin what around? How exactly are you going to spin what around? Try showing me. Yeah, I'll show you. I don't need to think of how 6 people could be killed inside closed rooms from the outside. Ah, it's useless, so useless. Can you make up your mind? That's right, the question isn't how you can kill from outside the rooms. The point is how they died inside the rooms, making them closed rooms. That's it. This is the answer. If you assume that one of the 6 victims was the culprit, this closed room can be explained extremely easily. What? Ridiculous. I believe I clearly said in red that the 6 of them were dead. There were 6 deaths. 5 were victims who got killed. But if you assume that the other person committed suicide, you can destroy this closed room. Certainly. If the culprit locked themselves in the final closed room and threw away their own life, this closed room chain would be established. The suicide of the culprit. Normally it would be an unthinkable move, but the argument that the unthinkable cannot exist cannot be used. And he has no responsibility to demonstrate a motive. A truly powerful move which can only be used in a chess match against a witch. Well, one cannot be certain that there was no motive. For example, it has been announced that Kinzo only had a short time left to live. Perhaps he did not regret losing his short remaining life, and used his own death to send a message. Good girl! Oh, who's a good girl? Yeah! Doesn't matter, what's this? What's this? Oh, oops, no wait. Oh, come back. Silly baby. Who was talking again? Even Master Kenjo only had a short time left to live. Perhaps he did not regret losing his short remaining life and used his own death to send a message. It might be possible to attach such a motive. Milady. Oh, it's him. It is our turn. Indeed. Whoa, goo. To think you'd trample even the dignity of the dead to create a culprit. What a heartless, cold-blooded man. I'll set the dead up as the culprit. This worse than inhuman. Oh, no, never mind. This worse than inhuman move is one you used to attack Kanokun in the last game. Even though the games are different, I'm taking a shot back at you with this move. As a tribute to Kanokun for that time. Just now, I freed that Kanokun from his regrets. You have no responsibility to hold back here. You should try to confirm that suicide wasn't the cause of any of their deaths. I recommend that you have that child repeated and read. Right. But suicide's a naive word that won't corner her. Bieto, this will stop you. Repeat it. The 6 deaths were all homicides. That is painful. Ugu. I don't know who's talking. Oh, it must have been him. That is painful. Ugu. Ooh. What are these noises? What's wrong? All 6 of them were killed, right? I'm just confirming that simple premise we've had from the very beginning, right? Can't you repeat it? I refuse to repeat it. There's no reason in particular. You realize that refusing to repeat this part is the same as resigning, right? Checkmate. One of the 6 was the culprit, and they planned to commit suicide after constructing the closed room. That's all. Oh, wait. No, I'll say it. I'll use the red like you want. None of the 6 committed suicide. How's that? Are you satisfied? What is this? I've struck back. What the hell? So you can say it. But that's strange. Why are you so panicky? What is the face? It's your imagination. I didn't mean to do that. Oops. This time, even I'm feeling the pressure. That's right. I don't have any leeway. Pay it no mind. The line you asked that child to repeat has been altered. Do not be fooled. Cuckoo. It seems not to have worked, milady. That's right. She didn't say the 6 deaths were all homicides. She changed it to none of the 6 committed suicide, which means one of them wasn't killed by someone else and didn't commit suicide. I've got it. This is the truth. Ooh, I just got like a shiver down this side of my body. What is happening? Oh, I'm dying. Someone walked over my grave, apparently. Culprit X, who was hiding among the 6, murdered the other 5 and then set up a closed room. After that, they planned to escape from or hide in that room by some method. However, they got in an accident. The culprit died from an accident that even they hadn't expected, setting up a closed room murder that even they hadn't desired. Now it's over, Beatrice. Checkmate. I still can't get used to that. Still laughing. It's so evil. Damn it! Did you think I'd be cornered by something like that? I'd never announce my resignation over something like that. I'll slice up that foolish checkmate with my red treasured sword over and over again. None of the 6 died in accidents. Muga? What is this? Muga? Oh, it's her. I thought it was him. Okay. My apologies. We request some time to strategize. Please allow us a brief postponement on this matter. It's a fair request. Perhaps you should accept it. Sure. Take a break. I've been given those a lot lately. Now it's your turn to take one. Thank you very much. Come, milady. This way. Coupon? Coupon? And let us quietly count to 100 inside our heads. 100! Ronover quickly covered Beato's mouth with his hand as she grew to Arsa's with his hand as she grew thoroughly panicked and agitated, spinning the game. He pulled Beato away, supposedly to hold a strategy conference. Supposedly to hold a strategy conference. Damn. That demon butler. I'm not drinking piss, by the way. It's Mountain Dew. Or is it? When Beato got all hot, I had a perfect chance to corner her. Beato normally acted like she was graceful and above it all, but she actually had a really short temper and got mad easily. Does she normally act graceful and above it all? Her usual intellect had less of a voice when she got excited. Ronover certainly is thinking clearly. He probably gave your opponent some time to cool down. No, don't play with weird things on the floor. What is that on the floor, anyway? That child grew too stubborn trying to remove your check, and was about to easily let several large pieces go. After all, the first twilight is only a skirmish. The correct move at that time would have been to withdraw. So what does it mean? Did I reach checkmate, or didn't I? Did I reach checkmate, or didn't I? That child was about to say something in red. You probably wouldn't have reached checkmate yet. But, most likely, you can expect our opponents to resign once they've cooled their heads. You're joking. Even though she hates losing that much? Yes. In a losing battle, it is essential to withdraw your troops as soon as possible to try and minimize your losses. The difficult part is gauging whether it's a losing battle or not. Your opponent's butler seems to have calmly made that decision. Oh well. In other words, she managed to escape by a hair's breadth. Getting checkmate and delivering the final blow won't be that easy for me. However, you should count this as your victory. It seems they barely managed to prevent a large loss, but they certainly sustained considerable damage. The scale of that child's panic ought to make the depths of that wound quite clear to you. Seriously? Feels like she'd start crying if I bullied her anymore. Lado was using the little box. As we talked, Ronover returned with Beato, who wore a meek expression. She didn't yet have her usual bold smile, but it looked like the blood wasn't rushing to her head anymore. Hey, it's your turn. Did you decide on your next move? I resign. For now, I will let you have your victory. Beato told me that, frankly. It seems she'd taken a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. It was a bit of a killjoy, and I lost my desire to deliver the final blow. Well, now that you've resigned, that just means we're even, since my theory and yours can't deny each other. You should treat it more like a tie than a loss. I don't need your disgusting sympathy. I'm telling you that I lost this round. When you find a dog drenched with rain, do you have a sudden urge to whack it with a stick or something? What the fuck? It's a very interesting analogy. Nope. I'm not you. That's good. That's good, good comeback there. She's not happy though. Even though she ridiculed me horribly when I showed signs of defeat, this is the best she's got when the tables are turned. I did feel that was pretty cowardly of her, but I decided to act with dignity as the victor and let it slide. Naru? She's really going at it. Beato resigned. I don't know if you can hear it. That's the one result of the first Twilight. Beatrice couldn't counter my move of one of the 6 was the culprit, and that person died in an accident. No, she probably could have countered it, but for some strategic reason she admitted defeat. It felt less like I'd won, and more like I'd let her slip away at the last second. In a chess match with a witch, battles can be fought solely with pieces known as X. With a witch, sure. Which require no detailed explanations. I was like, what piece is known as an X in chess? Thanks to the devil's proof, I could create as many strange fictions as I wanted, and use them as fighters in our argument. But that only works in a chess match with a witch. In our human world, you can't use such abstract theories to explain things. The first Twilight was a chain of 6 closed rooms. I like how, whenever it's like the black screen with the red, it makes me look like I'm sunburned. It's great. It's great. My skin is so pale in real life that I feel like it just becomes a canvas for whatever is on the screen. It certainly may have been possible for a human. Berta wasn't able to deny all possibilities. Oh, I drank too much wine. I wish I had some wine. That's what I'm drinking now. However, I don't have a clue who committed the crime, or why, or how they actually did it. It may seem strange to hear me saying this after I won, but for some reason, I felt like I'd have been more satisfied if Beatrice had been able to say definitively that it was impossible for humans. I managed to avoid specifics using... Oh, did I not bring that over here? Oh, no, I did. I did. Good. I don't know, it's weird. It's like the air is super dry. Did I move to Finland accidentally without realizing? Oh, jeez. I managed to avoid specifics using an abstract piece called X. But I couldn't deny the sense that some eerie intent that must never be known was filling up this entire mansion. Also, if the camera's too dark, I can always turn the light on. Oh, I was gonna bring a light! I totally fucking forgot. Oh, rip my life, Naru. I was gonna be all professional and bring my bedside light and put it like here. So I had like a nice light on my face. Oh, I forgot. I'll do it next week. Next week. I'll just have to use the screen for now. Like I'm in a tiny little bedroom, which I'm not. I'm in this massive room. Well, it's not that massive, but it's a kitchen and a lounge and a little study, I guess. When being besieged, your true enemy isn't so much the fear of an unseen culprit as it is keeping such fears alive for long periods of time. Welcome to the stream, KidW. What is this? Oh my god. Oh my god! What is this? What is this reaction? I thought Inkerlink responded with hi, because I'm so blind. I thought it just said hi. Like you were just so taken aback. Hi. But that's not what you said, so never mind. Tarnishing your name. Hi. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Although it looks even better when there's Naru here, but she is not here. Naru? Good girl, come here. Come here. Oh my god, look. See? Oh. Oh, he's a good girl. Ooh, it's a good baby. Ooh, yeah. Do you want to lie there? Yeah, you do. Maria got bored and started complaining that she wanted to watch TV. There was no TV in the lobby, so she decided to return to the cousin's room on the second floor. Naru, look. What's that? What's that? Naru looks into your soul. You're so gorgeous. What is it? Oh, she's such a good girl. Yes, she is. Sorry. This is the noise I always make when I am anywhere near Naru. So it's 80% of my day is going. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, I feel like she stays here if I don't give them to her. Because when I give them to her, she's like, oh, thanks. Okay, I'm good now. And then she leaves. And she's like, where are they at? Do I get them yet? And then she just sits here. She's such a good girl. Okay. The adults probably wanted to make sure Maria wasn't left on her own. They told all the children to go to the second floor cousin's room. The second floor cousin's room. George, who was grief-stricken by the loss of his fiancée, led the cousins up to the second floor without any resistance. At first, Nanjo had been reading a book in the lobby. But when he noticed the relatives looking, oh my god, one of your whiskers like making my nose itchy. But when he noticed the relatives looking like they wanted to discuss something sinister, he said, it seems I'm in the way, and returned to his room on the second. No, where are you going? She's like, I will not be tricked again, human. It seems I'm in the way, and returned to his room on the second floor. It is a very long story. We're not even halfway through it yet. Assuming the second game is the same length as the first. I'm starving. And if we just keep sitting around, we'll get sleepy too. It's only natural. We didn't get any sleep at all last night. We will probably end up being barricaded here for a full 24 hours. Can I rename him Trump? Look at his hair. Just look at it. Can someone meme him to be Trump? It may be wiser to take naps in turn instead of overstressing ourselves. True. My husband and I will remain here, so I asked that anyone having trouble staying awake take it easy and rest. Our opponent might be expecting that, right? Even if they couldn't defeat this many people, if that number shrinks enough, they may plan to use that moment to strike. There are 7 of us here, so we could take 3-hour shifts in pairs. Why do we have to have these 3 talking in the same screen? Because all their voices are very similar. There are 7 of us here, so we could take 3-hour shifts in pairs. Tomorrow morning's a long way off. We still have some energy now, but tonight's going to be tough. Sure will. Sure will. I think they sounded exactly the same. Anyone sleepy? Don't overdo it, get some rest. Hideyoshi looked around at everyone, to see who wanted to sleep first, but no one volunteered. Everyone was just as tired, but no one was bold enough to go to sleep right away. Sleep now, you may not get another chance. He's not bald, fat, or orange enough to be Trump. Yeah, but he's a dick. Personality-wise. Their fear of the unknown culprit was just as strong as their sleepiness. Nobody? Well, don't overdo it, everyone. If we get tired, we'll deal with it then. I'll admit I'm sleepy, but I'm not in the mood now. As Eva spoke sharply, she reread the second letter from Beatrice, which had been found in the boiler room. Beatrice had sent them 2 letters, which had repeatedly told them to solve the riddle of the epitaph, and she'd even provoked them by saying she'd give up her assets and the headship if they could solve it. Eva took out Can you not scratch the couch, please? Eva took out a notebook and opened it to a page with the epitaph copied onto it. I need to have like 2 cameras. One here for if Naru was here, and then one for here to see the shit side of my face when Naru was over there. I'm just kidding. When Naru was over there on the couch. Or I could just like move the couch here. No, that wouldn't make sense. Or have one attached to the couch so you could see her over there. I'd need one with a very long cable now. Is that the epitaph? Yes. I hate doing what the culprit says, but we do have time to waste. I think it's the perfect way to stave off boredom. Not a bad way to kill time. Why don't we challenge it together as siblings? I'm sorry, you want to do something with your sister? Oh, okay. Sure. Hideyoshi looks a lot like what Marlon Brando's Don Corleone would look like younger. Now I'm just thinking of Don Corneo from Final Fantasy VII. Don Corneo looks a lot like Trump, actually. Can I borrow that? I'll rewrite it just a little larger. Natsu-san, do you have a slightly larger piece of paper? There should be a paper in the servant room. I'll bring some. Natsuhi immediately brought a blank B4. B4? 1 second. What the fuck is a B4 size paper? B4 compared with A4. The larger that number, the smaller the paper. Yes. The B paper sizes are a bit larger than their A series counterparts and are based on the geometric mean of 2 consecutive A series sheets. For example, B4 is between A3 and A4 in size, and B5 is between A4 and A5. I didn't know. Is that why my school exercise books were B something something? Huh. So it's kind of like a notebook-ish. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Have I seen the Have I seen The Godfather? Actually, no, I haven't. I have heard a lot of Godfather references in Gilmore Girls, but no, I haven't actually seen The Godfather. My brothers have. I think they've seen them many times, yeah. But no. Let's see. Sorry, I had to plug in my phone. Okay. Korea borrowed Eva's. I can still see the chat. I just have to look over here like this. Korea borrowed Eva's notebook, wrote out the epitaph on the paper, and laid it out on the table. Then everyone quickly peered down at it. They automatically formed a crowd. I've heard about it, but really this is a tough riddle. I don't have a clue what it's talking about. At one point, I also did my best to solve it, but I was just as clueless. If you did know, we wouldn't have come all the way out here with the plan to make money. After all, it's 10 tons of gold we're talking about. This is the first time I've read through it seriously, but roughly speaking, couldn't it be split into 3 parts? I've been thinking this since last night, but you really are a good thinker, Kiria-san. Perhaps you'll be able to easily solve this riddle that we couldn't. Yeah, Kiria is sharp. She might find a more interesting take on it if she comes in without any confusing biases. That's right. Kiria-san, would you mind giving us your honest opinion after reading the epitaph? I doubt you'll find it useful. You won't give me too much credit. That's fine, just say whatever comes into your head. Let's hear your thoughts. The hints he needs to shave his sideburn, look at that. The hints you always the hints you give always help me out when I'm worried. Oh, so I have been helpful? It's nice to finally hear about this now. Come on, don't I always thank you? You two sure are close. I'm jealous. And the rest of us would also love to hear these hints of yours. We're just killing time anyway, so relax, okay? Cleo was disturbed at being praised so highly for something so strange. That they had all the time in the world. Did they? Did they have all the time in the world? Realizing that this was just a way to waste time, she decided to accept the role she'd been given. I'm sure I'll say something off the mark, but, well, I'll put forward my ideas. Indeed. Indeed. What did you mean in the beginning about how it could be divided into 3 parts, roughly speaking? Oh, hello. You were Red. What is this music? The flute. Sorry. It's pretty. Well, I just mean what I said. I think that overall the epitaph can be divided into 3 sections. First, there are the 5 lines up until there sleeps the key to the gold. Up until this point is the first part, which directs you to the location of the key. And then there's the part formed by the 11 lines up until the 10th twilight, which refers to the location of the Golden Land itself. And the remaining 6 lines make up the part after the Golden Land has been reached. By right-clicking System Tips the Portrait Epitaph, you can check the text of the epitaph at any time. Can I now? Oh. Behold, the sweet fresh river running through my beloved hometown. Right, and it's in the 3 parts. Okay. I see. It can be divided into 3 parts about the key, the Golden Land, and the Golden Land's treasure. What is this music? It's so good. Even we have been able to grasp that much. The 3 sections that refer to the key, the door, and the treasure. Nissan, don't butt in any more than you have to. Let Kiria-san speak her ideas freely. Oh, whatever. Kiria, please continue. We see it the same way you do so far. So then, fucking Kraus, I swear. I wonder about the meaning of that thing in the beginning, the beloved hometown. Normally that would refer to where grandfather lived, right? Deja vu. Since father went to all the trouble of telling us that it's beloved, we can imagine that it's a hometown he had strong feelings for. Did father come from Odawara? Ottawa is definitely where he was born, but I don't think that's the hometown he loved. Sorry, readjusting. Oh. I imagine all of those siblings had the same place in mind. Right. This probably isn't Ottawa. From what I've heard, he had a very fun time as a youth. Had a very fun time. He had a very fun time. Being made the sort of mere family head was probably Dad's greatest bit of misfortune in life. Probably. The father didn't actually want to become the head. I don't know who's talking. So where is this place? Is there a river there where sweet fish swim? What is a sweet fish? Maybe there was at that time. It's raining, I think. Oh, it's supposed to be the river. There's been a lot of development there since then, and the sweet fish might have disappeared. And it would be extremely difficult to investigate whether sweet fish were there during grandfather's boyhood years. And there probably isn't just a single river. I believe we all look, he's even got his hand on his hip. Or in his pocket. I believe we all gave this a thorough investigation geographically. And you even went to the actual place to investigate directly, right, Eva? That was only as a vacation. But the townscape has changed completely since Father's time. After all, it was caught up in that war, wasn't it? By now, even precisely locating the place Father lived is impossible. I imagine that if Father went there himself, now, even he wouldn't be able to pick out the place he had lived anymore. Well, after all, those guys have always gone through a remarkable recovery. I have also gone through a remarkable recovery. Does the part about Sweetfish River bring any place name clearly to mind? Well, yeah. After all, they're sweetfish, right? People say they live in rivers with clean water, so... What the fuck is a sweetfish? So there are countless rivers that might work. Those lyrics anything like the 12 Days of Christmas? I don't know. One shall be granted. No. Oh, wait, we have to go back. On the fairest twilight, offer the 6 chosen keys by the keys sacrifices. No. No, it doesn't work. Maybe in Japanese. People say they live in rivers with clean water, so there are countless. Oh, wait, that was the wrong thing. It would be like. Whatever. People say they live in rivers with clean water, so there are countless rivers that might work. Any stream dad innocently went sweet fish fishing and was probably buried by the development later. It'd be different if we had a map from before the war, or a person who knew a lot about the area was before the war, but how the area was before the war. It probably isn't something like that. It probably isn't something like that. What do you mean? Behold this sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You seek the golden land. Follow its path downstream in search of the key. After these 2 lines, there's a single blank line. Something is being presented with just these 2 lines. What if the... Naru, look at you. What if the next 3 lines continue based upon that something? What do you mean something is being presented? I don't know. At any rate, what can we get from these 2 lines alone? What we can get from these 2 lines alone isn't something vague, like the question of which river it might be, but the clear presentation of the keyword river. It may be that this isn't a river with water. Who's talking? It may be that this isn't a river with water flowing down it. The Sweetfish River might be some kind of metaphor. What sort of impressions does the word sweetfish give? Something sweet. Sweetfish are like salmon. I'll try and do his voice, not sound like Trump face, but whatever. They're freshwater fish, but they go out into the ocean right after they're born. And when they get big, they go back to the river to live there, and then they spawn there and end their lives there. Is sweetfish actually a thing? Well, they leave their home at one point, but when they get big, they come back and lay eggs. Might be able to link that to the idea of clan prosperity. Oh? They're freshwater fish, but they can live in the ocean? I didn't know that. I figured river fish wouldn't be able to live in the sea. And they're called sweetfish because they have a pleasant aroma. I've never eaten one, but I have heard they can be quite delicious when grilled with salt. What's that, Natsuhi-san? You've never eaten salt-grilled sweetfish? They're delicious! You should try it sometime soon. It is a food for commoners. Oh, I'm such a dick. Hardly appropriate for your mouth. Okay. This is just my wild idea, but the impression I get from a Sweetfish River makes me suspect a family tree. The sweetfish go out into the ocean for a time, but they return to the river where they're born to spawn, right? That reminds me of myself. You're right. By this point, I can confess that I have sometimes suspected that it refers to you and Maria-chan. Oh, I just clicked on her boob. Whoops, sorry. I see. If you follow the river downstream, you'll find a village. If you go down the family tree, all you find is Maria's name, which is that. Only her name has a red ri or sato, a character father uses for village here. Isn't that right? But as you all know, father doesn't like Maria, and he almost never speaks with her. Wow, what a dick! What a dick. And in the past, father told me to give Maria a completely different name, because he was a piece of shit. I just decided to go with Maria on my own, because I have my own thoughts. Father was very mad about that, because he's a dick. Given that, it's very hard to imagine that he would reference Maria's name in his precious epitaph about who would succeed his wealth and inheritance. Have you ever let Maria-chan read the epitaph? Yes, of course. But it looked as though she didn't have a clue. She didn't have a clue, and she kept going on about that same occult stuff about how it was a resurrection ceremony for the witch. A connection between father and Maria. Certainly they do share that occult hobby, but they never interacted. Can't imagine if they refers to Maria either. What sticks out to me is how he went out of his way to add beloved to that first line. Like you all said just now. Oops. Oops. Oh my god. Hold on a sec. Sweetfish aren't real, that's just what the witch wants you to believe. The Japanese name for sweetfish is Ayu. Ooh, wait, hold on, let me have a look at this. Native to East Asia, it is distributed in the northwest and Pacific Ocean along the coast of Hokkaido in Japan, southward to the Korean Peninsula, China, Hong Kong, and North Vietnam. Well, that would be why I don't know what sweetfish is, probably. Okay, let me close that. Oops. Ah, did I close you? Sorry, one second, I have to open the stream again. I find it annoying when apps open links within the app and they don't open it like in another app, so that when you swipe it away it closes the original app you're in. It's dumb. It's dumb. Hold on a sec. Let me do this. Okay, that's better. Super paper is right, which is a review. Are you a sweetfish? Species of fish. No, Wikipedia cannot be trusted, which is can edit. Yes. What strikes out to me is how he went out of his way to add beloved to their first line, just like you all said just now. If father was reluctant about becoming the Ushiromiya family head, would he have fond memories for anything connected to that? I don't think this can be Odawara, which represents the Ushiromiya head family. I believe this word beloved here at the beginning must refer to a place full of very important memories to father. I have an idea, like I did last. But nothing compared to the great deity. Yes, exactly. Exactly. One sec, I have an idea. I have an idea. My baby. Don't stay there. Stay there, my baby. Ooh, here you go. Is that better? Yeah. You get to stay in your bed, but you're up high. Ooh. Why are you purring? Are you upset? Did I move you? I know you're purring. Ooh. Yeah. Is that better? Yeah. Ooh, she's so gorgeous. Ooh, Ooh. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Okay. Actually, I'll do this. What are you doing? Are you grumpy with me? Don't be grumpy, Nutter. It's okay. There's so much whiteness behind me now. There wasn't that much before. How did I increase it? Oh, who's a good girl? Yeah. Sorry, what am I doing? Game. Yes, we're playing a game. Okay. I believe the word beloved here at the beginning must refer to a place full of very important memories to father. Well, that's fine. It would be hard to pinpoint since we don't have even a trace of a map from that time. But at any rate, there were probably several rivers with swiftfish. Swiftfish. I hate this word. It's so hard to say. If I was Australian, it would be easier because it would just be the same vowel. Sweet fish. But I'm not. Sweet fish? But I'm not Australian. Why do you have to face the other way? Oh. Can I turn you around? Ooh. Oh. There you go. Ooh. Let me move that for you. Ooh. Whoa, chin rubs. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. You're purring very loudly, did you know? Can you see her okay? Ooh, she's so close. Okay. Well that's fine. It would be hard to pinpoint since we don't have even a trace of map from that time, but at any rate, there were probably several rivers with sweetfish swimming in them near Dad's hometown during his youth. That's if we're looking for a river with water flowing down it, right? And then, go on, Kiria-san. And then, go on, Kiria-san. I didn't really, she was battler as a girl for a second. I don't really understand the blah blah blah. Oh, his voice broke, that's embarrassing. I don't really understand the 3 lines starting with, if you follow the river downstream, you will find a village. It's probably linked to the 2 lines about the Sweetfish River. I imagine it's something we'd understand automatically if we knew what the Sweetfish River really was. Until we figure that out, it's probably useless to try and solve those 3 lines any further. So we're stuck unless we know what the Sweetfish River really is. And there's no guarantee it even means a literal river. One second. Okay, that even means a little river. Seriously. What's up with the sweetfish? Did Dad like to eat them? Or does it have some special meaning? Is it pointless to read too deeply into it? If you... No. Naruto's purring very loudly right now. Aren't ya? Yes. You wink at me. Sorry. If you don't have both a micro and a macro perspective, your field of vision grows narrow. It might be better to be flexible and avoid thinking too deeply. Focusing on an abstract image of a river where fish swim or something that can flow, up or down. Then the answer behind the Sweetfish River passes through the next 3 lines and makes its way to the key to the Golden Land. If you think about it this way, I wonder if it was a mistake to split it into 3 parts. There's actually 4 parts. Go down the Sweetfish River. Find the key to the Golden Land. Journey to the Golden Land. And the treasure of the Golden Land. Truly intriguing. Well, you've gone this far. Would you mind continuing and telling us your opinion on the most central portion of the epitaph, up to the point where we reach the Golden Land on the 10th twilight? Why are you still alive, Kraus? That's the most symbolic and also the most disturbing part. Since the word sacrifices keeps coming up, I can't help but think it has something to do with Father's occult ceremonies. How do you see it, Kiria-san? Kiria recrossed her arms several times, peering into the paper with the epitaph copied onto it, as though she was looking through it. This is very difficult. It starts with the one who obtains the key. So you probably won't be able to continue without knowing what that key means. I'll have to give up on that. But I'll take a shot at trying to solve it anyway. Just like how the Sweetfish River isn't necessarily a river with water flowing down it. It's also doubtful that this key is actually something shaped like a key. Right. Right, it might also be a code or a keyword. After all, oh wait, maybe it's just here. Right, it might also be a code or a keyword. After all, this key isn't something to be stuck into a keyhole. It's something that selects 6 people to be sacrifices for the first twilight. In that sense, we can say for sure that this key isn't being used to open the door to the Golden Land. But what a disturbing key it is! A key that can choose 6 human sacrifices. How would a key select anything? Do you spin it like a roulette? Roulette. This key indicates a certain group of 6 people. No, we should say it indicates a certain group of 6 things, if this doesn't mean a literal command to offer sacrifices. For example, it could be an anagram. An anagram? Do you mean playing with letters? Yes, Dickface. I've been thinking about it ever since Rosa started talking about the family tree, and about how village was a part of Maria-chan's name. It seems that ever since the words beloved hometown came up, Rudolph's son, for example, has assumed that this epitaph points to some coordinates or some other geographical feature, but that might not be the case. This could be some kind of puzzle, or maybe playing with letters. You are purring so loudly I can hear you over the music. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Forgive me, but how does one play with letters? Oh, well, it's like Sucker Mary Barrels. Yeah, it's like Sucker Mary Barrels. Okay. What do you get when you take out the E's and R's? Like that. The E's and R's. Ugh! Wait. Wait, E's and R's? E's and R's. Suck Mabel? Doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense? E's and R's. Hold on. Oh, no, wait. Because I didn't take out that E. No. Yeah. There's only one L, though. It's not spelled right. It's wrong. Shame. Oh, that's funny. Oops. Like, that's what I thought it said originally, but then I was like, but there's only one L, and then I was like, oh wait, no, Mary is wrong, but then it wasn't, and then I just, like, anyway. Well, you were raised well, Natsu-san, so you probably don't know. Because you have no idea what sex is, so apparently. Well, she doesn't have any kids. Mary? Take out the E's and R's, huh? Huh? But there's only one L. It doesn't make any sense. Stop it. It's an undignified game. Inappropriate for you. Shut the fuck. Oh my god. Only Natsuhi didn't get it and had a blank look on her face. It seems she'd only guessed that the answer had to be something undignified. I mean, if somebody said it, if it wasn't written down and somebody said it, now take out the E's and R's, it's like it would be really hard to visualize. No defense, it was hard enough to visualize anyway with it written down. So, and I'm not that innocent. So it seems she'd only guessed that the answer had to be something undignified. Going by Rudolph and Eva Snickers. Sniggers. It's interesting because in English we say, in New Zealand we say snicker with a C and a K, don't we? No, wait, maybe it's the other way around. No, wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we say snicker. Like, she's snickering, he's snickering. Anyway. Natsuhine-san. It's something... Look at her face. Natsuhine-san. It's something like this. This is just something from Mario's Book of Riddles, okay? There's this thing called a Tanuki notebook. Is it raining? It's raining! Oh! No, it's raining! Did you know? It's like, get your face away from me. It's a notebook written like a code with a lot of tas mixed in. Ta. And if you remove all of the tas, then the true paragraph pops up. Oh, the rain, it's glorious. It's a game like that. Oh, I see. Huh? Now she finally realized the answer to the undignified riddle Rudolph had posed, and her face grew red as she hung her head in embarrassment. That face. So maybe kill actually means remove in that sense, right? Now this is like a... See, now this riddle is... Oh, there are golf clubs. I mean, I feel like this... either would have been very hard to translate, or won't make sense in English. But okay. Yes, I also thought that. It's possible that the key to the Golden Land is a word with 6 characters. In other words, the ta from the Tanuki notebook is actually 6 characters here. What? This is getting complicated. Playing with letters, is it? In Japan it really feels like a child's game, but it's apparently a stylish form of humour among intellectuals in the English world. It is easy to imagine the father was interested in it. Intellectuals? Are you talking about puns? I don't know if puns are really an intellectual form of humor or a stylish form of humor. And I mean maybe intellectual, but not like among intellectuals. Or the thing they were just talking about. Like... What? Okay. Unless they're talking about cryptic crosswords or something. It's easy to imagine the father was interested in it. But by this point I quickly lose my ability to understand it. I hate cryptic crosswords. I like crosswords, but cryptic crosswords, oh, I hate them. But it was extremely sequential. Sweetfish River, go down it, then find the key. All of that is extremely sequential, and as a result we can guess that we gain a 6-character key, but in that case we now don't know what we kill the 6 characters from. That's right. Where do we pull the 6 characters from? It doesn't tell us. Huh. That's interesting. Surely it's like head, chest, stomach, knee, leg. But that doesn't... No. On the second twilight there are those who remain, which means that, at the very least, that something has a limited number of characters. You could read it like it's telling you to continue with the remaining characters after the first 6 letters are removed. I like how It looks like Super Paper is just trolling me in the, in the chat. It's good. You can read it like it's telling you to continue with the remaining characters out of the 6 characters they have removed. And yet we don't know what this something is, even though it should have been shown to us at the beginning. It's getting so dark in here. Now, do you want to turn the light on? Are we wrong even in our assumption that this is playing with letters? Everyone crossed their arms and fell silent. It felt like they were about to reach a novel understanding they hadn't managed before, but they stumbled just one step short. Just one step short. That was a sound. Then Hideyoshi's stomach rumbled heartily. That silence was broken by laughter. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Sorry. Strangely enough, by spinning the gears in my head for a change, my stomach's gone completely empty. Looks like yeah, 'cause I shat myself. Looks like I can't stand missing breakfast. Ho, 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 ho. Natsuhi, isn't there anything to eat here? There should at least be enough set aside for breakfast. I will prepare. Look at her face. It's like she ate a lemon. There should at least be enough set aside for breakfast. I will prepare it. I'm also starving, and I'll bet those brats above us are the same. Whoa, it's raining so heavily now. I don't know if you can hear it. It's loud. Still, I doubt there's enough for the 18 people here, much less a full 3 meals, right? I mean, that's not his voice, whatever. That's right, it'll be a long journey till tomorrow. Maybe we'd better take a trip back to the mansion and fish around for some canned food or something in the fridge. And the kitchen, I mean, why would there be canned food in the fridge? There's nothing more than crackers and snacks here, but if that will be sufficient, I can get them ready for you all. Crackers and snacks, that sounds amazing. I see alcohol, what a wonderful combination. But with this many people, there might not be any left for lunch. That will do for now. Would you mind getting those ready? Oh, you asked politely. I'm surprised. He didn't just say, get them for me. Get into the kitchen and make me a sandwich even though you're not a servant. Oh, you can hear the rain? Oh, wait, no, wait. That's the rain in the game, though. I mean, because there's rain in the game, but there's also rain in real life. Can you hear the real life rain? It looked like the men had been taken over with an appetite that stopped all thought. Here, wait, let me do this. Can you hear the rain? Oh, maybe only when I talk you can hear it. Because when I... Because when I don't say anything... There you go. For a little bit you could. I'm watching the little microphone meter thing. Because normally when I talk it goes all the way down. But... Aww. The rain in the game falls mainly on the... Okay, sorry, I'm gonna go back to this. Falls mainly on the... Falls mainly on the... I don't know, I can't think of another word. I know it's supposed to be plain, but in this case... Falls mainly on the... Oh, I can think of his name. Pain! Kinda rhymes, there's assonance there. Brain! Falls mainly on the brain. Sure. It looked like the men had been taken over with an appetite that stopped all thought. The atmosphere grew more peaceful, and the epitaph investigation team split up for the time being. Yes, keep yourselves busy. Very good. But Eva kept staring at the paper the epitaph was written on, like she was going to burn a hole through it. Playing around with letters was nothing more than a theory of mine. There's a chance it's mistaken. Eva-san, don't take it too seriously, okay? Thank you. I'll just keep doing this on my own. Would you mind leaving me alone? Eva spoke. Oh, I'll just keep doing this on my own. Would you mind leaving me alone? Eva spoke coldly. Oh, such rain. Uh-oh. Can it... Oh my goodness. Oh, it gets louder. Kiria didn't bother her anymore, and instead went to help Natsuhi prepare breakfast. Can you hear me over the rain?
Ne-san, shouldn't we also help prepare breakfast?
Then you go help. I'm busy solving this.
Sorry.
Oh, it is glorious! Oh, I want to be able to hear it. Good grief. How can you be like that?
Huh?
The Ushirimiya family headship will be given to the person who solves this epitaph. It looks like you've given up from the beginning, as it has nothing to do with you. But if you can solve it, there's a chance even you'll be able to receive the headship. This is a chance to steal everything from Nissan. Why aren't you taking such a once-in-a-lifetime chance more seriously? Rosa hung her head, unsure how she should answer. Too late. She regretted carelessly speaking to her sister when she was in a bad mood. If you've noticed anything, say so. Even though Kiria-san and I were thinking hard, you just kept nodding your head, didn't you? Come on. Isn't there anything you've noticed? Come on.
Don't you think this part's strange?
Strange? What is?
It's just, this whole section's written like a journey to the Golden Land, right? You reach the Golden Land and then you receive its treasures.
What's your point? You think there's some sort of keyword tied to those treasures?
No, not the treasures themselves. Look, in the 10th Twilight, isn't how you receive the treasures strange?
Huh?
Why does it say we'll receive the treasures once and for the last time? If we only get them once, then there's no point telling us it's the last time. And the same thing in reverse. But I'm probably splitting hairs over nothing if you think about it.
This is Father we're talking about after all. He probably just said it that way to make it sound more dramatic.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You're watching this in VR? Why? And also how? That is interesting. Boring.
What is boring?
Boring.
My. What on earth is this child grumbling about?
She's probably annoyed by all the tips you gave Butler, summer madam.
Oh, it's raining some more again.
Not really. That doesn't annoy me. On the contrary, I'm happy to see that useless Butler finally reach a level where he can match me. Oh,
did Butler-kun and I get a little too close?
Oh, it's her talking.
Oh, did Butler-kun and I get a little too close?
Perhaps us old fogies had best left you young'uns alone. There are too many voices, I can't. When Virgilia and Ronove giggled and cackled, Beatrice's irritation meter finally reached its limit. Gah! Enough with everyone laughing at me! Ronove, vanish for a while. Disappear!
Certainly. Then I shall rest for the time being.
Ronove bowed his head, still laughing, and vanished. After that, all that remained was the grumpy and irritated figure of Beatrice and Virgilia, who was coolly enjoying her tea. Like this.
When you said there are no more than 18 people on this island, you actually cornered yourself.
I knew it. I did have this feeling it might be a bit too early. I suppose that was right after all, wasn't it?
If you had led him further astray first, things might have been different. But as it was, this trump card was a real waste. You ended up rousing him instead.
In addition to denying the witch, Battler had possessed a second victory condition, one of explaining everything without suspecting one of the 18. In addition to denying the witch, Battler had possessed a second victory condition.
What? Okay. It was at this point. I mean, it was at this point when he'd been tossed about by 2 opposing goals that his heart should have been at its weakest. You're watching this with 3D. What is wrong with you people? That his heart should have been at its weakest. However, Beatrice had used the red carelessly, proclaiming that there were no more than 18 people. Because of that, Battler had been forced to suspect one of the 18. And he had finally begun to build up the resolve he needed to accept that. Battler was stubborn. But that was exactly why Fishers would run. Fishers! Oh, now I want to play Elite Dangerous. Would run all through him like breaking china when he was struck in a fragile spot. That itself should have been his greatest weak point. But... did I get a little too careless after my complete victory last time? Yes, you were too careless. The last game. Why is there like cat hair on my nose? My lip. The last game was a difficult one for Batlican, but it seems this game will become a difficult one for you. A broken vase will never return to its original form, so it would be more constructive to think of a next move rather than regretfully picking up the pieces. Huh, it's a good way of looking at life. However, now that Battler's figured out as much as he has, how should I plot against him? Your Your troubled face is an even better snack than Ronover's cookies. Ooh. 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 Who is this? Is this Maria now? Ooh, you and Battler, even Ronover treating me like sweets now. I don't think that's her. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know how to do an ooh voice in a non-Maria voice. Ooh. You and Battler and even Ronover treating me like sweets now, even though I'm not sweet at all. Unless it is Maria. With a shameful, childlike face that she would never have shown in front of Battler, Beatrice rolled her head around on top of the table. What? Like... Okay. Teacher, at least give me a hint. Oh? What kind of a hint? If you know some really good move that'll leave Battler speechless and make him want to accept me, I wouldn't ask you to say it outright, so, even if it's just a hint. I can't. I'm on Battler's I'm on Battlerkin's side right now, so I can teach you something that would give you an advantage. Come on, don't be so stingy. Your disciple's in trouble, right? I seem to remember you brazenly boasting that you had surpassed your teacher. Ugh. Please act like an old person and give me just a bit of your crafty ideas. Please. It's mean if you only help Battler. My. Why did the music stop? You're still a spoiled child. But it's true that I may have given Battlerkin a few too many hints. It did serve as a scolding to you, but perhaps it was a little too much support for a fair game. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Please, teacher, at least just a hint now. This is only a hint. I need to shut you up because you're whining so much. Think about what it means by yourself, okay? Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll think about it myself. So please give me one that'll leave Battler down in the dumps, teacher. Considering how she acted like a great and mighty witch in front of Battler, the way she acted when he wasn't around was truly pathetic. Virgilia sighed at how childish Beato still was, despite all the time that had passed. It's so dark in here now. Then just a hint. Do you know of Aesop's fable? You can't even see Naru in the darkness. The darkness. Do you know of Aesop's fable, The North Wind and the Sun? Of course. It's a story about how the North Wind and the Sun challenge each other to see who can steal the cloak off a traveller, right? That's right. Violent and patient methods aren't necessarily the best decisions in all cases. Ooh, it's raining Naru. You don't have to tell me that. I've already reflected on the mistakes I made when I was too anxious to achieve victory. Think well about what this means. And furthermore, there's one point the battler seems to be misunderstanding a bit, but he isn't the only one. Do you understand the victory conditions of this game? Or what else is there other than making battler surrender? See? You're already wrong there. It sounds so much like Trails music. How am I wrong? Your victory isn't making Battlerkin surrender. Isn't it making Battlerkin accept your existence? What's this? You want me to... It also sounds like Final Fantasy 13 music. You want me to butter him up, begging him to accept me as a witch? How foolish. I haven't sunk that low. Grrr. Beato growled like a dog in a bad mood. Grrr. Vitilia shrugged her shoulders, snickering at her. Snickering! Actually, maybe now I'm thinking, maybe we say I don't know. At her disciple, who was as short-tempered as ever. That is my hint. For the rest, you'll have to consider deeply on your own. In any event, your moves up until now will not work on Battlerkin. A significant tactical adjustment will probably be required. I don't need you to tell me that. I don't have a clue what you mean by the North Wind and the Sun, but at any rate, I realize I'll have to alter my course. I'll introduce a scheme clever enough to surprise even you, teacher. I look forward to it. I wonder how Battlerkin will tackle that. I wish you good luck as well. After Battler, you mean? After Battler, you mean? Oh, it's raining so much. Okay. Oh, hello, young Eva. Alright, 1 second. I will be back in a moment. Oh, my baby! Oops, I didn't mean to kick the mixer. Oh, it's raining so much. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. It's glorious. Oh, let's wait for this. Lights, lights. Is that better? I'm not sitting in the dark because it's daytime right now, so I don't need to be sitting in the dark. I don't actually have the light on though. I have it's like a little window up near the ceiling behind me that I opened, so. Holy shit, the rain! Ah! Alright. Let us continue. Are you gonna give up and resign already? I guess you are that tired. If only you just grab a futon and sleep. Oh my god, it's so loud!
As my mind grew vague and I pretended to fight my drowsiness while sinking deeper and deeper into the sofa, I scolded myself. Oh my god. So I just ate a scorched almond, it's like a roasted almond covered in chocolate. It's a very common thing that you get for Christmas here. It's kind of like a present that you give it's kind of like when you buy somebody a candle as a present. It's like, it's the thing you buy someone when you don't know what to get them, but everybody likes scorched almonds, at least I think most people do. I love them. I fucking love them. But it's also like a Christmas stocking kind of filler thing, but at least in my family. But I just ate like 2 of those, and then I took like a sip of coffee, and it tastes so good in my mouth right now. Anyway, you also dreamed about stealing the position of family head from Kraus, right? Even though my magic's given you a chance, are you already throwing it away? You could say that, but this riddle was really hard. Even a wire puzzle would be easier. I mean, would be better. What's a wire puzzle? Well, at least in that case, you know for sure that it's solvable. But in the case of this epitaph riddle, we've been given no reason to be sure of that. I might just be fighting a useless battle. Still hazy, I looked at the notebook I'd been holding the whole time. You can see Maru better too. It was open to a page with the epitaph, which I must have stared at hard enough to burn holes in it on so many hundreds of nights It was open to a page with the epitaph, which I must have stared at hard enough to burn holes in it on so many hundreds of nights I'd lost count. Hundreds of nights? That page is truly a door. On the other side lies the Golden Land, the place I'd wanted to drag myself to no matter the effort ever since I was a child. And the place I was never able to reach. Am I touching the door with both hands? With the book? No, the door right there in front of me, ready to be opened, and yet still unable to reach the other side? What? That's right. Your hand is already on the door. Come on, open it with all your strength, and read the characters written on the door. Open it with all my strength. Read the characters written on the door. Strain your eyes. See through to the thing beyond the epitaph written in the notebook. The beloved hometown definitely won't betray our expectations. The only past father held dear happened during his childhood years. That's right. Then what about the Sweetfish River? There are several rivers where they swim, and there's reason to doubt that this just refers to one close to the place father lived. If we take out a map and start calculating which rivers with Sweetfish were closest... These sentences are very... okay. Were closest, things will quickly get vague and we won't be able to narrow it down. Didn't you say it yourself? You said it didn't have to be a river with water flowing down it. If the word Sweetfish is too complicated, why not forget it? Think of a river. Linking it with a family tree wasn't a bad idea. Try thinking about how to link a river with something else along those lines. It's also very windy. It isn't a river? But where else could Sweetfish swim? I don't really want to think about where else Sweetfish could swim. Oh, but if we're talking about places Sweetfish can swim, then maybe the ocean has something to do with this. Didn't my husband even say that they could go out into the ocean even though they're river fish? Holy crap! It's like raining and windy. What is this music? What's happening? It's like Final Fantasy 14 music. To the ocean. No, but I look so red. What is... I don't think I am. No, but... Huh? Did you notice? But that's just a faint memory. There's supposed to be a room for storing books in this building, right? If you investigate, you can make sure. But that's the Sweetfish River. And if the key might be a 6-character word, then could the key actually be resting in that river? One second. I have to like not do that. Because this was like, I think the saturation was up too high. That's a bit better. Oh! Such contrast. Look at the Naru sitting there, look at her. Hold on, I don't want this to be like unnaturally contrasted. That's a bit better, I think. Anyway. Supposed to be a room for storing books in this building, right? If you investigate, you can make sure. If that's the Sweetfish River, and if the key might be a 6-character word, then could the key actually be resting in that river? I don't know. Anyway, I have to search in an atlas. But even if I know that, I don't know I don't know from... Did I just see lightning there? I don't know from what I should take the 6 characters. You really don't know? Think deeply. We're pretty smart, so our ideas are solid. Don't think of it like it's something as massive as the riddle of the epitaph, but like it's a child's riddle. Men are always children, no matter how old they get. Well, Nobuo Uematsu said something similar, so it must be true. Even if father has advanced into old age, that doesn't change the fact that he's essentially a child at heart. I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, not just of men though, just all adults. We're just pretending to be adults. We're all still like 15. Throw away your awe of father. Think of this like it's a worthless infantile game with riddles, like the ones Maria suddenly brought out on the boat. Riddles. Worthless, infantile. Huh? Ah. I'm sure that was... What was it? I'm sure if my memory isn't wrong, then it's probably the case. No, I don't have to rely on my vague memory. I should be able to figure that out immediately by searching the library. This whole scene is written so strange, it's so hard to read these sentences. We've probably already noticed the answer. All that's left is to investigate. All that's left is to investigate whether it's correct or not. We are back to a little girl, yes. Come on, Eva. Let's go to the library, making sure no one sees us. There we should find a mountain of thick books that didn't fit in Father's study. I'm sure we'll find a book that answers our question. Quickly. Ah, better. Sorry, just trying to... Being comfortable is hard. This is the first and last chance we'll ever get to make our dreams come true. When Natsuhi tried to lay a blanket over her, Eva suddenly jumped up. I'm sorry. It looks like I... I thought she was angry. I'm sorry. It looks like I woke you. This music is... I don't know how I feel about this music. I feel like it doesn't fit the situation. Okay. Eva, if you're sleepy, don't overdo it. You rest first. Thank you. I'm just going to the bathroom for a bit to wash my face. You should take it easy and rest. You're just gonna make yourself feel worse, you know. I told you I'm fine. I'll be right back. After leaving only those words behind, I rapidly left the lobby. The lobby was partitioned off by a door, so as soon as I went into the corridor, they could no longer see me. Oh, hello. The library was next to the servant room. Oh! I just had deja vu, Naru. I think I'm thinking of a different anime though. Father always owned a vast book collection. But ever since he started to become engrossed with his occult hobby, that collection grew even larger. so that the normal books suitable for a normal study had been forced out as his study overflowed. This so-called library was mostly used as a storage room for those normal books. They were all thick, like completed encyclopedias for intellectuals, but that was very convenient for me now that I was investigating something. I entered softly, and just in case, I checked the room with my gun readied, making sure that there were no suspicious people there. Then I locked it from the inside. I actually wasn't thinking that the murder, oh shit, sorry, my bad. I actually wasn't thinking that the murderer might be hiding somewhere. What scared me was the thought that one of my siblings might hear what I was investigating. My heart started racing before I realized it. I was half asleep just a moment ago, so You know, this theme reminds me of... There's a theme in Final Fantasy X. I don't think it's the boss. Is it a boss theme, or is it just like a bad shit is happening theme? But either way, it's like my least favorite theme in the game, so I don't know how I feel about this theme. It's the doo noise that reminds me of it. Yeah. Yeah, like this is like, things are happening, all the things are happening, but that's not really what's happening. It's like, you should sleep. You should sleep! You should, like, it doesn't really fit, but okay. I guess it's like, Eva's finding something out, but it's just kind of, it's too fast-paced, and am I hitting the mic or not? Okay, good. I was half asleep just a moment ago, so I didn't realize how significant this thing I noticed was. But as I gradually became aware, my heart started to feel like I was about to explode. I wonder if any of the other siblings have noticed this. I don't think Kraus and Rudolph will notice, but I don't know about Kiria. She has extraordinarily good intuition, and I don't know about Rosa either. Rosa's stupid too. She always has been, incredibly so. Really? I'd say she was wise enough to make you think she was stupid so that she didn't earn herself unnecessary malice. Here it is. I wonder if we'll find it in this one. I pulled the book out and flipped through the pages. So this is a Sweetfish River? I see. This is what the Sweetfish River... oh my god! Sweetfish River means... Don't dawdle around, research further. Yes, I understand. If you follow the... I'm so confused who's talking. If you follow the river downstream, you'll find a village by using the character... Does he mean a town or something? That's just an area of dense population, so there could be any number of those. Why have you stopped thinking? Oh, is this too much work for you? Normally her dialogue is in little, they have like apostrophes, like just one. So I'm so fucking confused. If only you just give up. If only you just hand the Ushuramiya headship over to Kiria. I don't want to. I will become the head. This is my first time and last chance. What is this village? What does it mean? Do you find one if you go down the river? This music, I swear. That's how I feel about the music. In the village, look for the shore the two will tell you of. That means shore. Get it? I understand. Shore. Right before my eyes, the pieces that I hadn't been able to understand at all began to snap into place, all by themselves. Okay. I couldn't even remember to close my open mouth. My throat grew completely dry. Is it really okay for this to be the answer? Really? Really? But this isn't 6 characters at all. Did you stop thinking again? Maybe it's 6 radicals. In that case, think of a way you could read it with 6 characters. If you can't think of one, then research or remove the, like, maybe it written in full and hiragana or whatever. There has to be an answer. You must not doubt that. Is believing in that too much for you? If only you just cry yourself to sleep and then you can just give up and die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6 characters. I found it. This is the key to the Golden Land. Yes. This is the key to the Golden Land. The key to our childhood dreams. The only keyhole this key can be stuck in is that place. That has to be what offering the sacrifices means. I'm sure you get it by now, right? Oh! Oh my gosh. That was a very stressful scene because of that music. And also the dialogue was weird and I was confused about who was talking and there's too many... This way? Go this way? They're inviting me to go this way. Oh, my heart leapt. Because there, so it's more like, because there, I don't know what that noise was, gaping wide, was an opened mouth in the airy darkness. But what's this? What is this? When I strained my eyes, peering into the darkness, I saw something that looked like a light switch. In addition, there was a switch with open and close written on it. Oh, okay. When I resolutely pushed the switch, rough lights like you'd find in a coal mine turned on sporadically, making a staircase that stretched underground come hazily into view. Look at your little sleepy face, Nato baby. Baby. Eerily enough, it looked even more gloomy with the lights turned on. Near the light switch was that open and close switch. It would probably open or close this, but if the open part happened to be broken, I might be shut away in this creepy underground area for all eternity. So for the time being, I didn't touch that switch. And as I readied my gun again, I slowly went down the stairs. You're so soft, Naru. Ooh, you're gonna look so different in the summer when all your winter coat comes off. I slowly went down the stairs. The ceiling was very high, so it didn't feel cramped. On the contrary, it felt as though a cool breeze was blowing upwards, and that creepiness seemed to form a sort of aura. As I readied my gun and carefully stared forwards, I descended the stairs. The walls, the stairs, the lights, all of them were very old-fashioned. It was easy to suspect that this had been built back when the mansion had been constructed on the island. There were cracks in the ceiling, and water clung to the walls, constantly dripping down. That water fell into a gutter that had been set up alongside the stairs, then quickly and silently flowed into the underground darkness. Ooh, your little ears. Ooh. As though it was telling me to go faster. The staircase kept turning back on itself. I don't know how far down I've gone, but I think it's much deeper than one floor. Eventually, a rough metal door showed itself. This looks like there's this pathway under Helsinki. That's what this looks like. It takes you to the metro and to various shopping centers and train station and stuff. And there, characters had been written in a dark red paint. They'd probably been written a long time ago. Actually, it's really cool that in Finland, in Helsinki, a lot of the city center is underground, or like you can get there from underground. That's cool. On the 10th twilight at in red. Okay. On the 10th twilight at journey's end, you shall attain to the power of the Golden Land's treasures. What? You mean attain the power? Once, and for the last time. My heart, which was already about to explode, jumped about even more as soon as I recognized those deep red characters. There's no mistake. This is the last stop. Father's Golden Land is some horrible tomb or a subway or something. I calmed my throbbing heart, somehow regaining my composure, and readied my gun again. Ooh, his beak at the ears. Ooh. But since, in the end, I couldn't open the door with my gun held in both hands, I lowered the gun carefully hid my breathing, and opened the door. Oh, what lies inside? This is not what I was expecting. This place is... My first impression when I saw the room was that it might be linked to one of the rooms in the mansion. That's right, it had exactly the same atmosphere about it as the sealed VIP room on the second floor. But this was underground, so there were no windows. Oops. There was only the solemn light of a grand chandelier. The chandelier is the main character of the story, isn't it? But even though it was dimly lit by the faint light, the quality of the interior was more than enough to take your breath away. Oh, that is pretty. Oh, look, it's the gold! A bed with a canopy and a rocking chair. What's the point of putting a painting behind a thing? Behind the bed. Like, behind the four-poster of the bed. Okay. A bed with a canopy and a rocking chair that looked like it would be comfortable to sit in. I don't see a rocking chair. I have been lied to. What is this doing so close to the bed? Why is there no, like, thing on the bed? There's just only pillows. There's no, like, covers. What is this thing? That looked like it would be comfortable to sit in. An extravagant sofa and carpet. The room was like a dream every girl yearns for at least once. Okay. And yet, since it was an underground hidden room with no windows, it felt more like the hidden house of a witch. I'd never swallowed the legend of Beatrice, Witch of the Forest. However, after being shown this room, it certainly became hard to doubt that she actually had existed, and had lived in this room. Is someone there? Even though I was completely shocked by this room, I timidly searched the interior with my gun raised. And at the back of the room, I found it. There's a fucking creepy sound. Eek! Eek! My gas came out strangely like a bunny being choked. Eek! After all, after finding something like this, no one would be able to stop that kind of stupid voice from leaking out. Take the gold! Yes. Oh. Oh no, the nuttoitis has begun! Oh, now I have to keep my arm here forever. Rip. It's my own fault. Thank you for coming, Adam Daniels. You let her. It's here. It's here. It's really here. Father's gold. On the opposite side of the canopy bed, it was piled up in a massive heap. It was a mountain of gold ingots. Of course, they weren't piled up carelessly in a way that would damage the dignity of this room. A beautiful scarlet satin weave was laid on the mountain of gold. What is this music? Creating a beautiful three-colored mix between the red, the gold, and the black in the deep darkness. It was as though, when the witch slept on this bed, the gold would be a respectful chamberlain waiting on her. What? Okay. Nobly, refinedly, gracefully, beautifully. It was attentively piled there with an imposing air. When I tried to grab a single gold ingot, I was surprised at its weight. It was probably about 10 kilograms. But this ingot would probably be worth more than 10 million. The Ushirimiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was lightly imprinted on it. She smells the gold. You're being so loud, Naru. I don't think you can hear her, that's sad. It was hard to tell whether it had worn away or whether the impression had been made carelessly in the first place, but it was certainly the crest of the one-winged eagle. Just how many ingots were piled up there? By doing a quick count here and there and judging by the height, there had to be a few hundred at least. My mind's already gone blank, so I can't do the math well. Even a moderate guess would put it above several billion yen. That's right, of course. After all, there's 10 tons of gold, right? At the current value, that's more than 20 billion yen of gold. I found it, before anyone else. I found it. In front of the mountain of gold, I spread my arms and looked up at the ceiling. A laugh without a trace of dignity flowed out from my entire body. I had no intention of laughing in a weird way, but I couldn't help hold back the happy feeling that was flowing through me. My older brother probably wouldn't accept his loss just because I found this gold, but from now on there would be no changing the fact that I had been the one to find it. To steal away the headship of the family, some more subtle bargaining would probably still be required. But after everything I've gone through until now, that's a completely trivial problem. Even if I lose out in the Ushuramiya family headship, I already have 20 billion yen worth of gold. Times I've thought that money is such a worthless thing. I thought there were so many things in this world you can't buy with money. But now I see that's just a lie. Just an excuse that the have-nots make for themselves. You shush. You shush. In front of this mountain of gold, I finally realized something so obvious. By using this money, I can give birth to all the happiness in the world. With this money, my husband's company is already saved. We will always be happy as a family, and I can even leave a vast sum of money to George. The rest of the relatives will eventually be ruined and disappear. At that time, George will use this gold, and just like grandfather did, he will revive the Ushuramiya family's lost honor. George is the true successor to the Ushuramiya family. Ooh, how did that do? It happened. My wish was granted. That dream I have wished for ever since I was born into this world as Ushuramiya Eva has been granted completely at this very moment. My husband and I will be happy for all eternity. And I can also give my only son George eternal happiness. There's no way I'll waste it on foolish pleasures. My older brother has chewed the Ushuramiya family to bits, but George and I will revive it. And that means I truly have succeeded the Ushuramiya family headship. I was successful. I did it, honey. And George. I, your mother, finally succeeded. No one will be able to threaten us now. Ah! What? I don't know what the sound is. That's right. After this, never again will we be smothered by sad nights. Sad nights. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, big stretch. Oh, well, my arm has been consumed. Are you comfortable like that? Maria. Help. Send help. Congratulations, me. Congratulations, Ushuramiya Eva. Right here, right now, the sad half of our life will have its heart's desire granted. It's all thanks to you. I was given this chance because of your... Oh, wait. It's all thanks to you. I was given this chance because of your magic. Because of that chance, I was able to make it here. Thank you. But my magic wouldn't have been granted if we both didn't believe in each other. So it isn't just the power of my magic. This is our victory. Because of that, congratulations. Us. Thank you, me. Thank you, Ushuramiya Eva. I'm glad I didn't give in before now. I'm glad that I didn't drown in sorrow and forget to keep struggling. No, this is my magic. Our magic. Your magic was the real thing. Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest, is nothing more than an illusion. You are the real witch, a wielder of real magic. That's right. Right now, you are the Golden Witch, Beatrice. You are the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Oh, what? Matter, does it make sense to you? Was she dreaming? I bet she was dreaming. It was a dream, wasn't it? Nato, I can't reach my drink with you stealing my arm. Eva decided to leave. Ow, gee, I was dislocated my shoulder trying to get this. Eva decided to leave for the time being. When she climbed the stairs again, trying to leave the secret place, she saw a creepy, swaying human shadow blocking her path, and her dreamlike state was blown away. Oh! That was unnecessary. Who is this? For an instant, she believed that the true master of this room, the real Beatrice, had appeared. It seemed that the other person was also holding a gun. The two of them were pointing guns at each other, and eventually they realized who the other was. Rosa? Nessa, what are you doing in a place like this? That's my line. What business do you have in such a place? I shouldn't have given you that hint, Nason. If I hadn't, I definitely would have been the first to reach this place. Too bad. It seemed that Rosa knew where the staircase went, and what was waiting ahead of her. You should talk, even though I reached this place before you. I worry too much about the Sweetfish River. The Sweetfish part didn't really matter that much at all, did it? That isn't true. It was an excellent hint, wasn't it? Well, of course, maybe there was no need for it to be sweetfish. But when I heard that sweetfish are fish that go out into the sea, I was able to figure it out. What's inside? Why not see with your own eyes? It definitely won't betray your expectations. Don't be afraid, Nason. I never had any interest in who becomes the head. Oh. Don't be afraid, Nason. I never had any interest in who becomes the head. I don't even care about the Ushirimiya family name. Honestly, I actually feel good about you stealing the headship from Karasune-san, who was always swaggering around because of it. Are you serious? Of course. I'm the outsider of the Ushirimiya siblings. Even if father had named me as the next head, there's no way Nee-san would accept it. I try not to have such naive dreams. Oh. Let me see too, Nee-san. This proof of your victory. As long as I receive the proper portion of the siblings agreed upon, I plan to proactively acknowledge you as the true victor in this game. If you shoot me, then you'll have this gold all to yourself, won't you? The same goes for you. If you shoot me, this gold will all be yours. For a tense moment, the sisters pointed their guns at each other. Eventually, after they sized up the glint in the other's eyes, they lowered their guns. Eva removed her finger from the trigger and held the gun upside down. It was a position that she couldn't quickly shoot from. When she saw that, Rosa held hers the same way. That's right. That plan of shooting the other and having all the gold to ourselves is attractive for both of us. But if one of us suddenly disappeared on this island while it's isolated by the typhoon, there would be a huge uproar. If we hid the corpse here, it probably wouldn't be found easily, but we couldn't be sure. No matter how many billion yen worth of gold is on the line, it isn't worth the risk of committing murder. On the contrary, that would give Kraus-Nisan and the others ammunition to ring us for all we're worth. I agree. It may have been a blessing in disguise that you're the one who showed up, instead of Nisan or Rudolph. You're the sibling I trust most. Thank you. And you're the sibling I trust most, Nisan. I want to see the gold too. Those guns are not upside down. Indeed. Want to have a peek? Now I feel like seeing it again too. Even though I saw it with my own eyes, it still doesn't feel real. Unless I see it together with you and confirm once more that it actually exists, it feels like the gold will turn to fog and disappear. Eva started descending the staircase once more. However, she didn't carelessly expose her back to Rosa. Even though at a glance it looked like Rosa had lowered her guard, she definitely didn't show any signs of carelessness. Then they reached that room of the witch once more. Rosa also gasped, stunned speechless by the vast amount of gold. Sorry, sending a text to my mum. Or replying to a text. Rosa and Eva walked absentmindedly through the rose garden. You're lucky all you have to do is click. Yeah, I know. I know. Is this comfortable for you? Is it? Rosa and Eva walked absent-mindedly through the rose garden. They had left the guest house secretly, so they had to be careful when they returned. It was time to snap to it and keep their guards up. Congratulations, Nair-san. Thank you. You decided it, didn't you, Nair-san? 50% goes to the one bearing the title of successor to the headship. It certainly worked out well for you. Now that portion isn't Kraus Nissan's, so your share is now 50%, along with a quarter of the rest, for a total of 12.5 billion yen. Isn't that incredible? Oh, it's raining again. 2.5 billion is enough for me. Rudolf Nissan won't complain either. Kraus Nissan will probably be the only one to complain. That's fine, we'll just kill him. After all, Nissan is the de facto manager of Rock Kenjima, and since the gold was on these premises, even though I was the first to discover it, things might get complicated if I don't handle it cleverly. It won't get complicated. Didn't we give it our all in that discussion last night with that in mind? I wonder if it really will go that smoothly. I've already completely gotten over my excitement. How we manage everything from here on is the real problem. That's a problem for the new head of the Ushirimir family. A problem for you to enjoy, Nair-san. It has nothing to do with me. That's some big talk coming from you. I'll support you as the second discoverer. If you'll at least give me the early payment we decided on, I'd like 150 million yen by March. Yes, that will be fine. If you support me, I'll graciously pay you that much. I'm not Nissan. Anyway, why don't we go and shock Nissan and the others? Even if we cover up the actual location, I want to see Kraus Nissan's shocked face as soon as I can. On the stream, hidden bug. Wait a second, Rosa. Wait a while before telling everyone about it. Huh? Why? You idiot, isn't it obvious? This is that haughty Kraus Nissan and that sly Rudolph we're talking about. Even if we do announce it eventually, it's certainly too early now. Unless we carefully investigate how to make our next move, it's possible that all of the gold we've finally found will be snatched away by Nissan. Eva thought she was saying something extremely natural. So when she saw Rosa's expression suddenly cloud over, she was a little surprised. What are you unsatisfied about? You know what kind of a person Kraus Nissan is. Nair-san, that's against the rules. What do you mean? Didn't we make a rule that whoever found the gold would announce it immediately? If you hesitate, the foundation of the rules would be destroyed. And that could lead to something worse in the future. With Kraus Nissan as crafty as he is, that violation of the rules will come back to bite you. Don't be so stupid. This is Nissan's island, and that gold just now wasn't cash. We're talking about the liquidation of a vast 10-ton mountain, right? It will take a significant amount of time to carry it off and turn it into cash, and that will only work in Nissan's favor, since he has practical control over this island. Don't you even realize that? I get it. I get what you're saying. That's funny. I don't like it when you search out each other's weaknesses like that. All I want is to reach a clear decision regarding my 2.5 billion portion. Of course, if you were to give me 2.5 billion in cash right now, you'd be free to continue negotiating however you like. But until I have my share in my own pocket, I will follow the siblings' rules. How can you be so naive? You don't understand Nissan's craftiness at all. It wasn't that Rosa didn't understand the craftiness of her older siblings. In that sense, Rosa more or less understood why Eva was being so cautious. But in her heart, she couldn't clear away her suspicion that Eva okay, I just tried to move my arm and it's not letting me. Clear away her suspicion that Eva wanted to keep all of the gold to herself. Because she knew that Eva was at least as crafty as her other siblings.
In other words, Rosa wanted to put a stop to any chance ever had to keep the gold all to herself. By quickly informing the siblings of the gold's discovery. Rosa, sorry, but at least listen to me this once. Are you saying that if I don't listen to what you say, you won't be able to get me that 150 million? That isn't the way I wanted to say it. But if you really need that money, supporting me is a more realistic option. If you talk to Nissan and Rudolph, even the portion that's your natural right might disappear. You don't want that, do you? Oh, my hand is free! Now you can scratch your head. For a while, a severe expression that she had never shown to her sister before rose to Rosa's face. There wasn't even a trace of her restraint as a younger sister. There was just the ruthlessness. No, I'm free. Oh, my arm has never felt so good. Ooh. There was just the ruthlessness, no, the seriousness of a single human arguing about a vast sum of wealth. Eva made light of it, chuckling. My, how careless we must be to stand around here talking like this, in the rain, even though a frightful murder case has just taken place and the culprit might still be on this island. Ooh. I'm sure it was just the servants play acting. There were no murders on this island in the first place. Oh, so you do think that after all? The circumstances surrounding those 6 deaths shows us that, clearly, a crime from the outside couldn't possibly have created those 6 closed rooms. Dr. Nanjo said they were all dead, but that was a lie too. This is all a complicated act that Father cooked up. All of the servants are just playing dead. And murder never occurred in the first place. There's no way that there's a murderer prowling around. I'm surprised you noticed. You look pretty scared, so I didn't think you'd figure out so much. I'm good at reading the mood of a situation. I've got you to thank for training me so well. That's right. Come to think of it, now that the servants are dead, almost everyone on this island is a member of the Ushirimiya family. As for Nanjo, he proclaimed the deaths of the servants, but when the Malleters began to discuss the riddle of the epitaph, he disappeared off to the 2nd floor, as if he didn't want to get in the way. All of it was an act to get us to try and solve that epitaph. And that's why you need to announce that you're the victor, Nathan. There's no way that burnt corpse is really Father. He got a corpse with the right number of toes from somewhere and went to all the trouble of burning it in that creepy way of his so we would see it. I'm sure he's hiding somewhere, watching to see how we'll behave. I'll bet he already knows you reached the Golden Land there, son. That's why you should announce that you're the winner soon. I'm sure Father will appear out of nowhere to applaud you and proclaim that you're his successor. Then again, I've still got to pester you for that 150 million, so I can't stand against you in any way. So you'll listen to what I say and keep quiet about this to Nissan and the rest? Make your position clear, Rosa. I want to tell them. We made that rule just last night. We shouldn't just throw it away. Of course, I will announce it in front of the siblings. However, I want to closely analyze the situation first. We've got to carry out 10 tons of gold, convert it into money, and distribute it fairly. Until I have proof that I can do all that without Nissan getting in the way, I want some time to think. I only want to postpone my announcement until then. I'm certainly not keeping it a secret because I want it all for myself. You'll definitely announce it to everyone sooner or later, right? Yes, of course. Even I want to rub it in Nissan's face as soon as I can. How about how much time will you need to think? I won't know that until I've thought about it. Will one night be enough? I can't promise you that it'll only take one night. Out of respect for you, the successor, I'll support you for one night. Just enough time for you to be killed.
This year's family conference will end tomorrow morning when the typhoon passes and a boat comes to get us. That's right. When the seagulls cry. I will remain silent until then. If you still feel that you need more time to think after that, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there, okay? I'll support your position to the best of my ability. You really are cunning, aren't you? I'm surprised. Were you always this resilient? Yes. I guess it's true that women become stronger when they have a child. I realized that in myself when I had Maria. Understood. For the time being, thanks for your cooperation. We can talk about tomorrow when it comes. Yes, that's right. I'm convinced that you'll become a fair-minded successor to the headship. One who'd never even considered taking all of the gold for herself. Isn't that obvious? I will split the gold evenly among the siblings. Oh. No way. I found it. Because we solved the riddle of the epitaph. So this gold is all mine. I won't give it up to anyone. I am the head of the Ushirimiya family. I am. The witch inside Eva claimed exclusive possession in a loud voice. Of course, I didn't reach even close to Rose's ears, and it probably didn't reach Eva's either. Indeed, I shall acknowledge it. You were the true head of the Ushirimiya family, chosen by the witch's epitaph. Now I acknowledge it upon my name. You are that outfit. You couldn't actually be Beatrice. Maybe Beatrice was happy that Eva had called her by her own name. She cackled cheerfully. In concert with that laugh, gold butterflies crept up as though a storm of gold dust was spinning around the room, oh dear, and the room shone the color of gold. Indeed, I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. There's no need to be so frightened. I am praising your exploits. Truly excellent. Imagine that you would spectacularly solve that riddle of the epitaph. It is worthy of my admiration. You're the one who sent that letter? So I'll inherit all of the gold in the Ushirimiya family headship, right? You wrote that in your letter, and I overcame that challenge. Indeed. I shall acknowledge it. Right now, all of the gold piled up here, and everything of the Ushirimiya family, is for you to do it with as you please. After all, from this moment on, you're already the Ushirimiya family head. Really? It's true, right? Right? Do not be agitated. I am openly praising you. As proof, I shall grant you this. Beatrice took a ring off of her own finger and held it out to Eva. She fearfully accepted it and realized that it was a ring. And then nothing happened. The end. Could this be... Indeed. This golden ring is proof of the Ushirimiya family headship, returned to me from Kenzo. From now on, it's yours. You may place it on your finger and hold it high before your siblings. No one should doubt that you have now succeeded the Ushirimiya family headship. Eva stared closely at the ring. It certainly wasn't a fake. Without a doubt, it was the real thing. She had dreamed of receiving this ring someday, focused on this day over and over again, and it was now finally a certainty. This ring had now designated her as the head and had been handed over to her. And timidly, she put it on the middle finger of her left hand. The end of the... Oh, shit. Of the story. In that instant, she felt a deep emotion welling up inside her that she'd never felt before. Her mind grew blank. Both eyes were opened. That ring was on her own finger. Not in a dream, but in reality. That ring is also pleased. After all, it managed to reach you. It is the One Ring, and it has its own mind and everything. You, one who dreamed of... Oh, it's raining again. One who dreamed of putting it on their finger for so long. The ring, my precious,
father's ring! How many nights have you dreamed of putting that on your finger as you have done now? The strength of those feelings became your magic and materialized itself. Now you're worthy of calling yourself a great witch. Who are you? Are you really Beatrice? I am the Golden Witch Beatrice, the Ushirimiya family alchemist. In accordance with my contract with Kinzo, I will now pass everything on to you. All of the gold I entrusted Kinzo with, and all of the wealth he built up through that, and the honor and the headship of the Ushirimiya family. And I will pass on my power and the title of the Endless Witch. Okay. The title of the Witch. I will pass on all of my magical power and the titles of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. Following my predecessor's example, I will hand over my name, Beatrice, along with that title. You may now call yourself by that name. Eva gulped. The chandelier light, which had seemed dim, now felt too bright. By my name, I shall now commence the succession of the Golden Witch. What is happening? What is happening? Whoa! That's pretty. The instant Beatrice made that proclamation, everything was buried by a golden sparkle and changed into a majestic place that looked like an audience hall. Oh! In the audience hall, there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, as well as countless gold butterflies celebrating this first succession ceremony in 1,000 years. When she looked, she saw Beatrice in the throne that only the Endless Witch was permitted to sit in, holding a golden staff, reigning with a dazzling dignity. Without being ordered by anyone, Eva automatically kneeled, hanging her head. Like this. My hair scared the shit out of me just now. Holy fuck. A goat attendant respectfully handed Beatrice a golden staff in the shape of the one-winged eagle, like this. After Beatrice stood up and received that staff, she laid the tip of it on Eva's shoulder and spoke. It was a proclamation, 1,000 years in coming. Ushirimiya Eva, you have spectacularly solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and reached the Golden Land. I praise that accomplishment, and hand over all of the endless magic, as well as the titles of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. By the way, just kidding. From this point forth, you may call yourself by my name, Beatrice. Like I said before, come, raise your face, then stand and accept this staff. I am most grateful. Why was that her voice? I'm most grateful. Eva stood up dizzily and took the magic staff from Beatrice's hand. Her hand was trembling slightly. It's the throne of Lucius. It is. Yes, it is. As soon as she grasped that staff, she was wrapped up in the brilliant sparkle of gold, as though gold butterflies were flowing out from inside of her. That sounds kind of disgusting. In the instant she succeeded, the Golden Witch Eva felt something in the depths of her soul be reborn. To describe it in a word, it was energy. Energy with a gold color. It felt like she was waking up, as though she had been half asleep ever since she had been born and was opening her eyes for the first time. It felt as though her true eyes inside her eyes were opened for the first time in her life. For the first... No, let's not do that. Wow, you look really cool. Yes, congratulations. Whoa, hello. Indeed, a fitting and beautiful outfit for the Golden Witch. She looks so cute, look at her. Aw. Come, you may show yourself to all of these people. Let them know that the new witch is indeed you. Eva, no, the new Beatrice, turned around timidly. When she did, the witch's minions, which filled the vast audience hall, honored her with an applause that sounded like the roaring of the sea. Come, everyone, replace all of the portraits of Beatrice with a new Beatrice. Lift up words of celebration for the new Beatrice. She looks really cool. I like that. Congratulations. New Beatrice. Congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch. I hope that you will become able to stand on your own as a proud Golden Witch and as the Endless Witch. Yes, I will do my best. I expect a composure befitting the Endless Witch from you, unlike your naughty predecessor. I'm talking in the wrong thing, but whatever. Teacher, we're in the middle of a serious ceremony, so please, enough of that. Congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch, New Beatrice Summer. I am called Ronove. I am one of the 72 demons permitted to serve the Golden Witch. If you are ever conceived in the slightest, please let me know at once. Thank you. Ronove is rude but reliable. If anything confuses you in your new days as a witch, speak to this man and he should be able to help you. Predecessor Beatrice Summer. Are you having a bath? Did you know the whole world can see you have a bath right now? You're like, I know, I am the center of the universe. Duh, you can always see me. Even though we've finally been reunited like this. These last 1,000 years have been very entertaining for me. You have my deepest gratitude. Indeed. 1,000 years with you wasn't boring. Please take care of the new witch. Yes. I, Ronove, will obey the final order of the former Beatrice. You better thank me, okay? I gave my signature to recommend you for the succession of the witch, got it? In other words, if I hadn't signed, you wouldn't have been able to become a witch. I have no idea if this is what her voice was, but it is now. So thank me a little, okay? This is the Witch of Certainty, Lady Lambda Delta. The recommendation of a witch from the Senate was required for your succession as an endless witch. Lady Lambda Delta recommended you and became your guardian. Thank you. Hey, Beato! This kid isn't grateful enough. I think I'll take back that recommendation. A person making these recommendations shouldn't act like a child, right? If you've signed, make sure you take responsibility. Lady Lambda Delta is also the Witch of Certainty. The Witch of Certainty prefers to make fate firm to create a fate of certainty. She really liked and highly valued your efforts until today. Well, you had that unfortunate childhood, all that unrewarded effort. I can sympathize just a bit with that. Just a bit with that. It's not like I felt sorry for you or anything, so don't be so full of yourself. Soon. From my point of view, your succession, well, it's more of a coincidence than a miracle. It isn't worthy of my recommendation. I don't know who's talking, I'm confused. This is Lady Birkenstill. She's quite hard to please. That must have been her talking before. Still, you could say that just having her participate in the celebration makes you exceedingly lucky. I only came because this is a rare once in a millennium event, and I heard there'd be some good sake. New Beatrice Summer, please come greet us as well. Huh? Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. The 7 sisters of Purgatory were gathered in a line. The elder sister, Lucifer, took a step forward and kneeled. This is furniture that serves me. As a gift to celebrate your inheritance, I always send them to you. Once you succeed the position of Golden Witch, you will need to carry out the resurrection ceremony for yourself. The 7 Sisters of Purgatory perform an essential role in that ceremony. They're a villainous bunch, but they serve their purpose. Have them do whatever you wish. We will always be by Beatrice Summer's side. Please order us to do anything you desire. We'll accomplish our tasks without fail. Even after that, many nobles and minions visited and offered words of congratulation for the new witch. As she responded to them confusedly, she felt as though she was growing lightheaded due to the lack of oxygen. She couldn't tell if this was something real or unreal, but there was just one thing she could understand, a feeling of achievement at being permitted to call herself the Golden Witch. That alone was a truth she could definitely understand.
What is all this? Of course I'm not going to swallow this story, but what in the world does it mean? Aunt Eva's the new Beatrice? Are you saying she's turned into a witch? What the hell?
I was also surprised to think that someone would be able to solve that riddle. However, that is the rule. Why's my arm itchy?
Oh, I've been bitten by something! Oh, for shame!
However, that is the rule. I must follow it and pass on the position of Golden Witch to my name. It is hardly something to be surprised about. At the very beginning you wrote that rule in a letter and announced it. Eva-sama was simply the first to be successful. That is all there is to say.
Vigilia, are you there?
Yes, here I am.
What does this farce mean? Even if this depiction of strange witches showing up one after another is some of her bullshit, isn't that so much like Aunt Eva turned into a witch?
Calm yourself. She has simply received the title of Endless Witch and might call herself that in the future. The succession ceremony is certainly nothing more than an act to promote that child's explanation. Don't fall for the same move over and over again.
That's right. That whole grand ceremony was all phony. But it's at least the fact that Aunt Eva solved the riddle of the epitaph. And at the same time, that means she succeeded the Usurumiya family headship. And after getting 10 tons of gold, Aunt Eva might as well call herself the Golden Witch. Is that it? Damn, it's as complicated as ever. My, it's a boorish human unable to comprehend the grandeur of the ceremony. Oh, is a boorish human unable to comprehend the grandeur of the ceremony? Ah well, being unable to read between the lines is what makes you human. I pity you, but I do not blame you. Damn it. Don't look at me like you feel sorry for me. Still, for the time being, there's something I need to check. And that's regarding this younger version of Aunt Eva. In other words, the definition of this new Beatrice. What is that?
Even if I tell of it, you'll just persist in your disbelief in magic and witches, correct?
So there's nothing in particular for me to explain. Feel free to believe in whatever it seems to be to you. What it seems to be to me? Then how should I interpret this?
For now, it might not hurt to view it as a visualization of a separate entity inside Usurumiya Eva. Of course, you cannot blindly accept that answer, but it is probably a reasonable theory to hold for the time being.
In other words, I should think of Aunt Eva and her as the same person, right? Damn, I don't like where this is going. In any case, from now on, my name's no longer Beatrice. I pass it on to Usurumiya Eva. Which means that I'm nameless. Battler, don't you have some name that'll be fitting for me? I shall accept your recommendation. How about a name that's refined, full of elegance, and a little cute too, if you can? Just Beato is good enough for you. There's probably a big enough difference between Beato and Beatrice to keep people from getting confused. So the same old Beato, is it? It doesn't feel wrong, but it's boring for some reason. They say the temperament of black tea in a woman's heart is difficult to gauge in any era.
Battler-kun, at any rate, stay calm from this point onwards. The fact that we cannot tell her and Usurumiya Eva apart works to our advantage, compared to the time when that child was still Beatrice.
And that's exactly why I like it even less. What's she thinking? That Beato. Over there, the witches formed a long line to bless Aunt Eva, who had the figure of her younger days and who now possessed the name Beatrice. It was like a witch's coronation. The countless gold butterflies flapped their wings, directing this fantastical gold sparkling space. They were all praising her. As I stared from the distance, I looked at the newly born Beatrice, who had a slightly embarrassed smile on her face. Her expression, which had been lost and confused at first, seemed to be full of the happiness that she was finally starting to recognize. That expression didn't look at all like someone laughing insanely while standing before the gold. There was just the innocence of a person basking in their own joy. As a person who did not deny the existence of witches, I couldn't view this witch succession ceremony with a joyful expression and accept her. However, when I looked at that innocent smile, I felt like I wanted to offer my blessings, just for that moment. It's always beautiful when strong efforts bear fruit and are rewarded. Aunt Eva, who had always yearned to succeed the headship and who had worked hard since her youth without reward, had spectacularly taken hold of the chance given to her by the riddle of the epitaph and had finally gained that position. How divine is the smile of a person whose childhood dreams have been granted. Oh, I definitely won't accept witches. But Battler put his hands together, making a small sound. Like that. It didn't reach her ears, but it did bless her. Oh, it's like how they do. It's not like clapping. Congratulations, Aunt Eva. You spectacularly solved the riddle of the epitaph before anyone else. It's your victory without any complaints. I won't accept all that about the Golden Witch and so on, but I'll accept you as the new head of the Ushlamir family, and I'll celebrate that sincerely. As though urged on by Battler's applause, Beata also clapped. Or maybe it was applause. I thought it was like, you know how they, when they pray or whatever. It was a slightly odd scene. Battler and Beata, who opposed each other, were standing side by side and applauding the same person. Oh, so they're just clapping. Okay. I'm not applauding for a witch. I'm clapping for all of Aunt Eva's efforts up until now. As am I. I offer my sincere applause as a blessing to whoever who spectacularly solved that epitaph. I don't like applauding with you. But, well, I've decided that I won't worry about it now. Divine punishment won't fall on me just because I clap with you every once in a while. It's because I don't know every once in a while. It's not so bad every once in a while. Still, it is fun to applaud. Even though it was Eva who was successful or not me, for some reason, I'm starting to feel happy too. Or for some reason, I'm starting to feel happy too. That's because blessing someone means the same thing as sympathizing and sharing with them. I see. Then I have even shared this irrational happy feeling with you. Since we are a pair of enemies trying to make each other surrender, it's an odd experience. Well, just for now, let's have a truce and clap, okay? Beata laughed impishly, playing around and applauding even louder, as though eagerly trying not to lose to Battler as she clapped. This is such a weird scene. Battler went along with her and clapped even louder. Ha 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 ha. Yay, clapping. When he did, as though some ceremony had ended, everyone applauded and highly praised the reborn Beatrice. It was just as though Battler's and Beata's applause had been the final thing needed for her succession. Oh, alright. Is the scene over now? Aha! Good timing. Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here for today. Before we go, I would like to say thank you to everybody who came. Thank you for reading the comments. Thank you to you in the future who have not seen this yet, but are watching it afterwards. Yeah. And also thank you very much to all of... where are you? My patrons. Yeah, thank you very much for your patronage. I really appreciate it. Always and forever. So thank you very much to Tim, Stine Van Empel, Ready Games, Ordinary Magician, Octotigi, Yomar, John, James, Inkerlink, Fipmeister, or Arwen, Fipmeister, Featherfly, Il Nunez, Civic, and Adam Daniels. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Thank you very much for your patronage. Also, to anybody new watching this now or in the future who's not in the Discord, you should join the Discord if you want, if you have Discord, because that's where all the talking happens. Lots of Naru memes are there, lots of Naru pictures, and just in general talking about games and my life and not really my life, everyone's lives, I guess. Yeah, just it's the way we all hang out, and it's also where all the stream announcements and all that stuff is. And if you'd like to become a patron, you know what to do for that. Yeah, so thank you very much for everybody for your support, your continuing support. I really appreciate you watching my stuff and sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic. And coming to these streams and caring enough about my stuff to watch the stuff and stay and stuff and comment and stuff and support me and stuff. It's good. Anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend. I am going to celebrate my mum's birthday this evening, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah. What else? Nothing else, I think. Hopefully there'll be a Trials episode at some point in the weekend. Sorry, it hasn't come out yet. But yeah, so I might set up another stream at some point. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that yet, or how I would do that, or when I would do that, etc, etc, etc. But yeah. But anyway, thank you everybody for everything. And oh, that little sad face. I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. I have a busy day today, so I unfortunately have to end the stream for now. But I thought it was a good point to end it anyway, because end of a scene, and you never know when these scenes will end, and I don't really want to end in the middle of a scene, and yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I'll see you next time, or on something else, or I'll see you in Discord, or on Patreon, or wherever. So, bye bye.